conversation with me? Go on. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, what experiment you are doing?
Hi. I'm just asking you some questions, get you to think a bit. You want to try?
How much time it will take?
Um, 5-10 minutes.
I'm in a hurry actually. I have to volunteer. But you can ask me only 2-3 questions if you want.
Okay. How do you feel about oppression?
How you feel about
Oppression.
depression?
Oppression.
Operation? Operation means surgery?
Oppression means cruel or unjust treatment.
Yeah, I feel bad about it in case something will happen to me.
Yeah.
And
Do
in
you
case something happens to other, I feel bad.
do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
To oppress the powerless, no. Why
What if
should
they get some benefit from it, the powerful?
powerful people get the benefit by oppressing the people?
Is it right?
No, the government should stop them.
Okay. And what if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed?
Because they don't have the power to speak. Their main concern is only about bread and butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they are being oppressed and they are getting the bread and butter, they will prefer to get oppressed and get the bread and butter, because for them survival is more important.
Is
thing.
oppression right if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed?
No, but oppression is definitely bad. I think it is the duty of we people that we should raise the voice for
Okay.
them. Yeah.
So do you think that we're oppressing animals when we force them into slaughterhouses for?
Yeah, definitely. I'm totally against the slaughtering.
Yeah.
I'm totally against that. Like the animals should be slaughtered.
Are you vegan?
I'm not vegan totally, but I appreciate the vegan people. I'm vegetarian.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't eat, any meat or chicken or.
Do you eat any animal products?
No, I don't eat any.
Oh.
In case it is eaten by mistake, then it's all right.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I don't know there is something inside it. Then because in Canada anything can be here inside the restaurant. But
So why do you say you're not vegan if you don't eat any animal products? Or do you, I suppose you also don't wear
no,
leather?
vegan because I take milk. I
Yeah.
take milk products. Right from
Okay.
the very beginning, we are habitual of eating the milk products, and
Yeah.
once you become habitual, it's very difficult to leave them. Vegan means that you don't take even milk or milk
Do you know why?
products.
Do you know why we're against taking the milk of a cow?
Yeah, the milk, definitely it comes something. I had read about it that there is some blood of cow is also somehow has a role in the milk.
So let me tell you, because maybe this is the one thing that I want you to leave knowing. So why do you think cows produce milk?
Why do you think?
Yeah, why do cows produce milk?
Why do the cows produce the milk? Yeah, because I don't know why.
Because they're pregnant, because they have babies,
No, but otherwise also they produce the milk.
No. They're mammals. They're just like us humans. They only produce milk after they've had a baby. So farmers,
Okay.
they forcefully impregnate them. The procedure goes: somebody puts their hands in their anus to hold their cervix and injectable semen in their vagina.
Okay.
And after 9 months, when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
Yeah, they don't give the milk to baby. They
Exactly.
just press it
They
out.
separate them.
Yeah.
And if the baby is born male, they don't produce any milk. So what do you think happens to them?
Okay.
They get killed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we don't consume milk, because we don't want the animals to die.
Okay. So
for
what
us.
are you promoting? You are promoting vegan
Yeah,
diet?
yeah. I want people to not exploit animals. To
Okay,
lead it
thank
to
you
a
very
more-
much.
Can I give you a card? Maybe it will help you out.
Yeah.
If you look into it, okay? You have Challenge 22 there. They hook you up with a nutritionist.
I will manage. My daughter is in IT. I can manage.
Okay, thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is Madhubala. I'm in a hurry.
Madhubala.
Actually, I
Yeah.
have to volunteer for Swift Tailor
I'm
event.
Chip. Go for it. Thank you. Have a good one. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? Yay, success. Chamberlain. Can you guys hear me okay? Howdy, says Chase. You need to inflate the arms a bit. We can hear. Okay, audio is good. Okay, that's what we want. Yeah. So I had this conversation with this woman who she already stopped by. And I actually had another conversation before this with a person about religion. So people here are willing to talk, so I'm loving it. You guys want to try a social experiment? Yeah. Hi. You want to try a social experiment? Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel? What's your name?
Mohammed.
Mohammed, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you, Mohammed. So, Mohammed, how do you feel about oppression?
I mean, it's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing, right? Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
No?
What if the powerful get some form of benefit from it?
Still no. It's
Still not
unjust.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. What if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed?
Still unjust.
Okay. And do you think that we're oppressing animals when we're forcing them into slaughterhouses for us?
Damn. I guess in a way, yeah.
Yeah, right? Because it's cruel, it's unjust, and we're exercising our authority over them against their will.
Yeah.
So, if you say you're against oppression, do you think you can be against oppression while simultaneously supporting it by buying animal products?
Well, I think it's also a matter of necessity too.
Yeah.
You know, like
Do you think we need to consume animal products?
I think with like the way the population's growing nowadays, I feel like it's kind of necessary.
In what sense? In what sense do you tie it to population growth?
And because like food production, like feeding people and stuff like that, because there's world hunger and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
So I mean, would you be surprised to find out? Like for me, it was also I didn't know this, but we would actually be able to produce way more food if everybody in the world were vegan, because a lot of the times we forget that these animals also have to be fed, and when we grow food, we actually grow way more food for these animals than we would otherwise eat ourselves.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Didn't know
yeah.
that.
So it's like I think it takes 8 times more land to grow 1 gram of 1 gram of animal protein versus 1 gram of plant protein. So it's still not. But regardless of that, right? Like, is that a fair enough justification? Because should we, I don't know, kill dogs if we get benefit from it because our population grows?
I think, I mean, if we absolutely had to, but I mean, I like dogs, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to, obviously.
Yeah, well, we don't have to, right? All of
Yeah.
it is optional to us, right?
That's true.
So is there anything holding you back from being vegan, from not exploiting any animals, from not oppressing them?
No, not really.
Say it again?
Not really, no.
Not really, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I like it how open you are to this. Are you, have you ever thought about it, about veganism? Have you ever heard about it?
I have, yeah. Well, like being vegetarian and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so being vegetarian is it's obviously a good step in the right direction, right? Because we don't kill animals specifically for meat.
Yeah.
But do you think that animals in dairy, like cows or chickens that are for laying eggs, do you think they are exploited, or do you think they're oppressed?
I think it's to a lesser extent, at least, which is something I'm more comfortable with that way, because at least they're not dying, right?
Yeah. Fair enough. So if I wanted you to leave this conversation, I want you to know at least this one thing that I also didn't know. Do you know what happens to dairy cows? Do you know what they go through?
No?
So what do you think has to happen for a cow to produce milk?
I mean, somebody has to milk it, right? Or like a machine milks it? Something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah, but like she has to be pregnant because she's a mammal.
Yeah.
So biologically she needs to have a baby, otherwise she doesn't produce milk. So farmers, they forcefully impregnate them. Like literally somebody puts their hands in their anus to hold their cervix and inject semen in their vagina. Yeah, I know, that's fucked up. It's pretty standard practice. Because not a lot of farms can afford to have a bull on their farm, you know. It's because they have to feed them. It's expensive to feed a bull, you know, to
Yeah.
keep them alive. So they usually just buy semen and do this. And after 9 months, when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
Probably taken away.
That's the first thing, yes. They get taken
Yeah.
away because they would drink their milk, and we say it's our milk. And if the babies are born male, they don't produce milk, so what happens to them?
Eaten, I assume?
They get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Some males get killed, or on some farms they get left to starve to death because it's not profitable for them to keep them alive.
Uh-huh.
So, and if they're female, same fate as their mother, year over year, forceful impregnation.
Yeah.
For like 6 to 8 years, when the farmer can no longer impregnate them with yeast, and then they all go to a slaughterhouse, and they can live up to 20 years. So it's like, what, a quarter of their life, and a miserable life to begin with, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So would you say, is there any difference between killing animals for food and doing this for milk?
I mean, I still think it's to a lesser extent, but I got what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue that's actually worse, because at least the cows that are grown for meat, they die faster. They don't have to go through all of this exploitation and abuse, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's okay if you see it as less. But do you think that we have the moral obligations as humans as the ones in power to not oppress them because they don't have any power, or to not oppress them just because we can, including for milk, for anything else, for cheese, for meat?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's a tough question.
It's a tough question. Yeah. So what do you feel? I'll ask you this one question. How many more animals do you want to be exploited for you before you make a change?
That's true.
Hmm?
I mean, it's gonna be a slow process, obviously.
I understand that. Like, obviously, a slow process is better than no process. That's 100% true, right? I would say, first of all, put yourself in the shoes of these animals, right?
Yeah.
Because if you were in their shoes, would you want the person on the other side to say it's going to be a slow process? Would you want them to say, no, stop,
Yeah, that's true.
right? That's kind of the whole idea. And being vegan is just about the animals. The diet is just like a consequence of it. But we don't wear leather, we don't go to zoos. It's just about the animals, about respecting them. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta get to class, but.
Hey, nice talking to you. Can I give you a card to look into it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I appreciate you being so open to the idea. And let me just tell you real quick, something you might enjoy. If you scan this or go on this website and type in this code, there's a thing there called the most important speech you'll ever hear. It's a really good speech. You'll just enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed our conversation, and you'll just enjoy the speech. It's just a guy holding a speech about kind of like what we discussed.
Okay, thank
You gonna give that a watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Have a good one. You also have my social media and everything. Bye. Have a good one. Hello, everyone. Yes, we are in Toronto today. Yeah, we're doing, in the plane here. In the plane here to Toronto, I actually I was sitting next to another vegan person, wouldn't you know it? And of all the thing, an animal rights advocate too. She works for Vegan, yeah, Vegan, and we've been discussing things, and she showed me a study which was really interesting that said that people are actually willing to decrease their animal production consumption if you suggest reducing it to 50%. And the study apparently said that if you reduce it to 10, if you reduce it to 100, people either don't get either they don't have enough incentive to do it to 100, or 10 they feel like it's nothing, so why even bother? But 50 is like apparently a magic number or something. It worked, and they did it on like 700 contestants, 700 people from US, UK, and Australia, and I thought that was really, really good. So yeah, well, I'm not trying to say that. No, I'm not. I'm still gonna do my own thing, but because you can see, I'm trying to even if people say they want to change and want to take it slowly, I still don't want to have that backfire effect, but rather I still want them to change. I still want them to go in the right direction, because at the end of the day, we need animal liberation. That's what we want. By the way, it's very pretty here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm trying to see. Yeah, so welcome to the stream. If you're new, welcome. We're in Toronto, Canada today. It is pretty cold. My hand is almost freezing. And we're trying to get people to have conversations with us. We're trying to do a social experiment where we challenge their views a little bit, try to get them to think, hey, you guys want to try a social experiment? Say it again? No. He asked if we get paid. No, nobody gets paid. Yeah, we're trying to challenge people's beliefs, and maybe we'll have some good conversations. So stick around, everybody. Yeah. It is really pretty, by the way. And you guys want to try a social experiment? I ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
What are the questions?
Well, that will happen if you try it, right?
Hey, you're up. All right.
Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Oh, is it live right now?
Yeah.
Hi. How much viewers?
139.
Okay.
What's your name?
Sawhill.
Say it again.
Sawhill.
Sohail. I'm
Yeah.
Chip. Nice to meet you, Sohail.
Nice to meet
So I'm gonna turn this around and you tell me what you think, okay? It
you.
says,
Animal abuse should be legal. Change my mind.
do you agree?
Why would it be legal? No.
No, it should be legal.
That's good. It should be legal.
Yeah.
No, it should not be legal.
Why not?
It should be illegal.
Why?
Is this wrong? Any abuse should be illegal.
Okay. How do you define abuse?
Abuse, mentally, physically, hurting someone.
Yeah, I appreciate
Right.
that. Yeah. So
Okay.
physical or emotional harm, right? In a sense.
Right.
Okay. So we shouldn't be abusing cats or dogs or anyone,
Yeah.
right? What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Cows. Oh, is this like a vegan thing?
Yeah.
I think. Okay. That's when it like. 'cause
Yeah. Let's see.
these-
Let's see you change your
Okay,
mind now.
okay,
Let's see
no,
you
no, no,
justify
listen,
abuse
listen.
now. Tell
This
me.
is the
Hi.
thing. Okay, cats and dogs, they're here for emotional support, right?
Well, not all of them, right? Do you
Dogs-
think they? Do you think they only have value if they give something to you?
That's a good question. But like the thing, like they have their use cases, right? Like dogs, farm. I don't know what they do, but like cattle, all of that stuff. But the thing with like cows and chickens,
Yeah.
there is abuse. But okay, I think that's wrong. With like injecting them with like hormones and stuff.
Well, not just injecting them with hormones, right? Even taking their life for something that is optional to us.
Right.
Isn't that wrong? Like exploiting and keeping them captive when we don't need to do any of it. Isn't that wrong?
Yeah, that is wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll look into veganism, but I like meat. But
Do you think that your pleasure is arguably worth more than their enslavement, their oppression?
yeah, that's messed up. But then again, we've been eating meat for like, I don't know, all of humanity, right? So I think it's a big part of our diet. But then again, I don't think our diet should be at the expense of their lives, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just because we did it for a long time, does that matter? I mean, we've been doing a lot of shitty things for a long time. Doesn't mean
That's a good point.
Right?
That's a
Does
good
the
point.
duration of an action change its moral value? Is it more moral if it do it for a long time,
Yeah,
or if more people do it?
yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll look into it.
You look into
But
it.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. How many more animals do you want to be exploited for you before you look into it?
Zero.
Zero.
I don't know.
Zero. You gotta go vegan, man. That's the only way
Vegan?
to look into it.
Okay, I'll look into it.
You look at-
What is this for?
I mean, I'm trying to get people to think of the animals a little bit because, yeah, as you said, we live in a society where it's we've been grown up to see these animals like cats and dogs as, oh, they're pets, they're okay, they have all the rights. But then when we think about cows, chickens, and pigs, we don't give a shit about them. We're like,
Right.
we can do whatever we want to them to justify whatever we do to them. Do you think we can do anything we want to them to justify what we get from them, like milk,
Right.
or
Yeah, no, that's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. All right, well, nice meeting you.
nice
Bye.
meeting you? Can I give you a card to look into it?
Yeah, of course.
Only if you promise me to look into it.
Listen, I got a midterm right now. I'll look into it after.
How many more animals?
Zero.
Then you gotta look into it now, not after.
Of
Come on, man.
course.
So if you scan this code or go on this website and type in this code, there's a
Right.
thing there called the most important speech. Just watch that. It's 30 minutes, man. You can give 30 minutes of your time,
Well,
okay?
nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. What was your name?
Sawhill.
Sahil. I'm Chip. Nah, I don't know what the sign is. Okay.
All right, see ya.
Have a good one. I don't know. I don't know. Hi, you want to try a social experiment?
Sure.
Are you okay being live on YouTube?
Yeah.
Can you come closer in view? I mean, it shouldn't be too long. I'll just turn this around and you tell me what you think.
No.
It says animal abuse should be legal. Why not?
I don't think people should abuse animals.
Is there any reason? Or
It hurts them. They don't have like the same feelings and cognitive abilities as humans, but I don't think that they should be hurt.
okay. I mean, they do have feelings, right? They do have-
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
So-
different from humans, but they definitely have feelings.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, how do you define abuse?
That's a tough one. I guess. Like inflicting physical or emotional harm on someone for like no particular reason or just your own benefit.
You the first person I see like define it perfectly. That's exactly right. I appreciate that. Okay, so we shouldn't be abusing cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Well, is this like a veganism bit?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm not vegan. I'm not vegetarian.
But do you think you can be against animal abuse while simultaneously supporting it when you buy animal products?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a line where like people kill and eat cows and chickens and whatnot to get food. If someone is just like kicking their dog, their fun, they don't get any tangible benefit from it. If they're killing cows and chickens, they at least get food from it. But I am against like factory farming where like they have a bunch of chickens that they keep in tiny little cages.
Well, 90-something% of animals are kept in factory farms
I know,
here,
it's
right?
awful.
So you're probably supporting that also.
Mhm.
But I mean, what was it that you said at the beginning? Can you say that again? That you said it's okay to, as long as you get food from it, right? But when you make a choice for food, let me just say this: when you make a choice for food, you have an option that exploits an animal, a sentient being, and an option that doesn't, where you plant-based, right? So when you're making that choice, how are you making that choice based on? Because you can get sustenance from both.
Well, I know like my ex-boyfriend, he was a vegetarian. He would always tell me about like because I don't eat meat, then I have trouble getting enough protein in my diet, and also like I sometimes like if the meat option and the equivalent vegan option, I find like a lot of the time the equivalent vegetable option can be like more expensive or harder to get. Like you can only get it at select grocery stores. So it's also a matter of like maybe some people like they want to not like harm animals by eating meat, but they also like they don't have the resources to afford that or to go to grocery stores where that's like an option that they can easily access.
Would you be surprised to find out? Because there's been 3 studies that show that in Western countries like US, Canada, UK, and Western Europe, it's actually cheaper to be plant-based than to eat meat.
Is that so?
Because a lot of the times we when we think of vegan products, we think of plant-based meats or plant-based cheese. But the reality is you're probably not going to eat that often. You're going to eat that once or twice a week. But most of the times you just eat like pasta, rice, beans, lentils, chickpeas. You know, it's tofu. All of these are probably the cheapest things in the supermarket most of the times. And I mean, either way, you can. Let's say if you find a way to make it work on a budget, do you think? Don't you think you have an obligation to make it work on your budget rather than to put your budget on the life of an animal, to take their life or to exploit them because you say it's cheaper or more convenient for you to do that?
That's a good point. I mean, like recently I have been trying to like not cut out meat from my diet entirely because that's also like a hard choice to make from like eating meat a lot to having it like not at all, but to cut it out from my diet and like have it less.
Yeah.
And also because like a lot of the time meat like is more expensive.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that I don't like beans, so.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I don't eat a lot of beans to be honest. I usually just I grab some tofu, put it in an air fryer, and some veggies and put it on the side, and that's it. Some sauce, and that's it. But like, do you think? Like, let me ask you this, because you said you're reducing your meat consumption, and I mean, obviously, I encourage also that. It's great to reduce animal products, but do you think if the case, everything else, if all else were equal, but they were dogs instead of cows, would you still reduce it, or would you stop?
Well, I mean, like, if I grew up my whole life in the
No,
world
your current self. Your
Yeah, well,
current
like,
self. You
if-
can only find dog meat from
yeah,
now in
like
supermarkets.
if I woke up one day and it was like only dog meat,
Yeah.
then I would probably not eat it because I'm used to having dogs as pets. But like cows, I guess I've grown up my whole life hearing like cows are food. You can eat them, it's fine.
But do you think that their value comes from what we give to them, or do you think they have some form of intrinsic value themselves?
What, cows or dogs?
Both, each, either.
They have intrinsic value, yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that matters more than the value that we place on them? Because if we say cows are not valuable to me, does that mean I get to do whatever I want to cows just because they are not valuable to me?
I guess not. No. Yeah.
So then I would say intrinsic value matters a little bit more, right?
Mhm.
So in that sense, what is it that if there were dogs you would stop instantly, then, and if there were cows you wouldn't, you would continue doing it slowly at the time, right?
Also, like I have a pet dog, whereas a cow I've never really interacted with a cow and like seen as an individual, I guess.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I understand that.
yeah.
Like it's a little bit of a disconnect, right?
Yeah, like I've never really thought about that much.
Yeah, I understand
And now I'm
that.
gonna think about it.
Yeah,
so.
that's my point. I want to get people
Yeah.
to think a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, you know, cows are just dogs. They're dogs with big hooves. There's footage online of cows playing fetch. They throw them a ball and they come
Yeah.
and bring that back the ball.
Yeah, and like pigs also I've heard are really intelligent.
And they have zoomies. You know what zoomies are, right? If you have a dog. Yeah, pigs have zoomies also, right? So, I mean, all of these animals, the characteristic that we appreciate in other animals, the characteristics we appreciate in other humans,
Yeah.
compassion, the capability of emotions, they all have that. So, would it be fair to selectively choose some species and say, well, you gotta die because, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I have to get going now. Like I don't think that from talking to you I'm gonna like just start not eating meat ever again from now on. But I.
How
will
many
say,
more
like,
animals should be exploited for you or killed for you before you change?
It like I said, it's hard to go like from eating meat to not eating it at all. But I might try to like slowly cut it out from my diet like more and more.
Yeah.
And I definitely like will think about that now whenever I eat meat. So you have like
Can I give you a video to watch? That's just
Sure.
it. Yeah. So if you scan this code or go on this website and type in this code, you can watch the most important speech you'll ever hear.
okay.
Just give that a watch. It's
Alright.
like 30 minutes. It's a speech that's 30 minutes, and then there's
Yeah.
questions and answers. It's a really good speech.
Yeah.
And then if you want this, if you decide that you don't want to be part of any of this animal abuse, then you have all the resources there that you need. Okay. What's your name?
Ali.
Ali. I'm Chip. Ali.
Nice to meet
nice to
you.
meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Have a
Okay,
good one.
have a nice day.
Yeah. Well, at least she was honest, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're in Toronto. We're at least we're just 26 minutes in, and we've had 3 conversations, and I had another one off camera. So let's see. People, I'm loving this area. People are curious. They want to talk. Honestly, Toronto has been the best experience I've had so far. So yeah, I appreciate it. Let's see, maybe we get some more people. DRK Blue, hey, welcome. And hey, Nathan, welcome. Well, nice to see you. Martin, hi. Ali, hi. You guys are usuals here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate everybody for being here. And thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed, please just, hit that subscribe. We do these live streams. We talk to people. We have a good time. We try to challenge people. I don't know. I'm nice in Toronto, I guess. I'm nice in Toronto also. I don't think they have guns here, but I'm trying to be nice because I really want to get to total animal liberation, and I don't think triggering people is the way to go there. But when I come back to Amsterdam, I'll probably go and trigger some people because I am missing. Hey, you guys want to try a social experiment? Yeah, nice. Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel? Okay, what's your names?
Kira.
Kira, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. How about you?
I'm Sierra.
Nice to meet you, Sierra. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around and you tell me what you think, okay? It says animal abuse should be legal.
No.
Why not?
Because that's abuse. Yeah, like no form of abuse should be legal.
Okay.
We should show kindness and love to all.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
matter if you're an animal or
Yeah.
what.
How would you define abuse?
Like physical abuse, emotional abuse,
Okay, I
verbal
appreciate-
abuse.
Yeah, like physical or emotional harm, right? In a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that. Then, it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Well, we're both vegan, so.
Oh, you're both vegan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are you doing to me? Okay. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Why are you vegan?
Because
I don't even.
we have to go to class.
Well,
Are you being honest with me right now?
yes.
Yeah.
Why are you vegan?
Well, it just feels uncomfortable to eat animals. Like, even though they can't advocate for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are still like living.
Yeah,
things.
living things.
So you're vegan for the animals, right? You're vegan
Yeah.
because you respect animals,
Yeah.
in a sense, right? Also no dairy or cheese or anything like that, right? I don't
Mhm.
know. I somehow have to specify because
Yeah, no.
even in those
Plant-
situations, animals get
plant-based.
exploited and
Mhm.
slaughtered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that. And let me pose a scenario for you, and then I'll let you be, I guess. So if you would see a person kicking a dog right here, I'm assuming you wouldn't go and join them,
No.
but would you pass by and say nothing, or would you go and say
No,
something?
I'd
No,
say
I'd say
something.
something too.
Okay, so in that sense, animals being exploited and abused and slaughtered for other people, do you think it's important that we speak up for animals ourselves?
Mhm,
Yeah.
But I also think that everyone has their own
opinion, so I
But do you-
can't change what they. are
But
thinking.
do you think that people should have the right to exploit animals?
I'm not sure about that. Personally, thank you for.
Yeah, because if not, like just to, based on that metaphor that I gave you, right? If you're not speaking up for animals, you're just a person walking by and
Yeah.
ignoring what happens to them. So don't be that person. Speak up on their behalf, okay? There's a lot of advocacy groups in Toronto, and you can just join one of those. And I think they're happy to have you to speak up for animals. And if you do speak, more people will go vegan. It will be easier for you and better for the planet, better for everybody. Okay?
That's true. Thank
Okay.
you. Have a
Thank you.
good
Have a
one.
good one. Yeah. I don't know what I was saying. Yeah. I think they're being truthful, says Nathan. Why did they laugh? I don't know that. That was an interesting thing, right? To me also. Why did they laugh? I don't know. I think they were being a bit uncomfortable. No, sometimes people are a bit uncomfortable. Do animals have morality? Asks Kobe. Does it matter if they have morality? I think more animals are not moral agents. They are moral patients. But that doesn't matter, right? Does it? What matters is that we have morality and we know better, right? And we say that it is wrong to exploit and slaughter them. So why would we do that? Yeah, put the backpack down, says. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Okay. There you go. I put my backpack down. You guys want to try a social experiment? Okay. Exactly, says Lewis. Yes, welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. Hey, you want to try a social experiment? I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit. You okay being live on YouTube?
Can I be off camera?
Yeah, you can be off camera. I'll just move it a little bit so that I'm closer to you and they at least see me or something. Okay. What's your name?
Yasmin.
Yasmin. Nice to meet you, Yasmin. So, what's your take on oppression?
My take on oppression?
Yeah.
It's bad.
That's bad. Okay. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
No, I don't.
Even if the powerful get some form of benefit from it?
No.
Okay. And even if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed?
They still shouldn't be oppressed.
Okay. Do you think we're oppressing animals when we're forcing them into slaughterhouses for optional products?
Yes.
Okay. Do you participate in this support of animals being forced into slaughterhouses for you in the form of eating animal products or wearing leather or fur?
I eat animal products.
Yeah. Do you think you can be against oppression while simultaneously supporting it by eating animal products?
I think oppression works in bigger systemic forms, and a lot of consumer practices are aiding and abetting oppression, but as the consumer, there's not a lot you can do to avoid that.
But you can choose to not be part of this oppression, right? Like you
I
don't
can
have no
choose to not eat
obligation.
meat, but also I don't really want to.
You don't really want, so you want to continue oppressing them.
Yeah, I want to continue oppressing the animals.
I mean, that's what you're saying, right? I'm not trying to catch you on this, right? That the reason why I started with oppression is because it is oppression what's happening to them, and we can't choose to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I only really eat hot dogs.
I mean,
Is that oppressive?
I mean that's the easiest thing to choose a plant-based option of because there's literally no difference in taste between the two.
There's a difference in price.
There's a difference in price, yeah, but you don't have to eat a hot dog every day. You can choose to eat a hot dog rarer and still have them.
I don't
if
eat a
not.
hot dog every day.
No. But what I mean to say is that you can find a way to make it work within your price, right?
Yeah. I mean, I used to be vegetarian.
Yeah. But even vegetarians, they oppress animals, right? Because for dairy, for cow, for milk, for eggs, all these animals are still oppressed.
Yeah, but where'd you get your jacket? What brand is that a part of? What are they? How is it made?
There's definitely no animals oppressed for it.
Were there people oppressed?
I assume not, no.
You assume not? Do you know how the jacket was made and what factory it was made and what country it was made, who made it, what they were paid for making it?
Yeah, well, either way, would you say that are there any humans on this planet who get forcefully impregnated and have the baby taken from them, have their
Yeah.
babies killed, and then them themselves killed for something that is essentially optional to us?
Yes.
Who are those?
People who get forcefully impregnated. Yeah.
Where are those people who get forcefully impregnated? And do you support that?
No, I don't support people getting raped,
Oh,
but that happens.
it does happen.
That's
I don't mean,
forceful
yeah.
impregnation.
Yeah, but somehow you support that for animals, right?
No, I don't really eat dairy.
You don't really eat dairy, means you eat it sometimes?
Yeah.
So you support it sometimes?
Yeah.
So you do support it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, is there no contradiction there, here and there?
We're full of contradictions. Everything is full of contradictions. You can't consume completely ethically. It's impossible.
Does that mean that we get to do whatever we want just because we can't be fully ethical? I mean,
No.
as long as we're conscious, shouldn't we always choose the ethical choice?
I mean, it's hard to choose the ethical choice sometimes.
Sometimes I get that, right? I get that sometimes it's hard to choose the ethical choice, but do you think that when it comes to food, it's hard to choose the ethical choice? You always have a plant-based option or an animal-based option, right?
Yeah, but if you think about it, I mean, me not eating a burger because I feel bad for the cow, which I do, those companies are still they're huge corporations. Nothing's gonna happen from me not buying from them.
Well, one person going vegan can save up to 100 animals per year. That's not nothing, is it? And if it's just one animal, to them it's their whole life. To you, it's a burger.
Me. I will go vegan. Thank you.
I doubt it. He was really defensive, really defensive. There's a person here who's really messed up. But there's the police here, so let's see what happens. I don't know if you can see. There's this guy. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what's happening. Like, it's insane. But there's also a police officer here. You can see he's looking.
Can I ask what the social experiment is about?
Yes, please come by. So I ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
And what are the questions?
Well, that you'll find out when I ask you when they do the social experiment. You want to try it?
Do I have a right to say that I don't want you to use it afterwards?
Well, I'm actually live. That was my next question. If you're okay being live on my YouTube
You're
channel.
live
Yeah.
on what?
On my YouTube channel. You can also be off camera if you want. There's no issue there. Like, you're not on camera right now.
Well, I'm interested to hear, so I would like to stay off camera, though.
Okay, that's
Would you
fine.
mind?
That's fine. I appreciate it. I don't know. What's your name, by the way?
John.
I'm Chip. Nice to meet you, John.
Me too.
Okay, so what's your take on oppression?
These days, I think we're a pretty oppressed people.
Okay. Would you say you yourself are for it or against it?
Of course, against it. Like I said, I think these days we're quite the oppressed people. I think people are tired and sick of all the oppression that's been going on. And,
How do you define oppression? I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Well, the constant hammering down of people or a person, inflation rates, high costs of marketing goods. Supermarket goods, high costs for education, high rent,
Yeah.
high housing. It's all a matter of just pushing the people down, and as they say, making the rich richer and the poor poorer. And that's where I see that we're being oppressed. We're being pushed to the point where we won't be able to live normal lives.
I can certainly understand how you see that as oppression, but oppression generally means like a cruel or unjust exercise of authority over somebody, like an unjust treatment.
Yes.
So let me ask you, do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
No, in fact, the person you're speaking to right now is going through a very unique situation in their lives.
What is that, can I ask?
Huh.
If you don't feel comfortable sharing, that's okay.
I tell everybody anyways. I'm 52 years old. I was born in this city.
Yeah.
My mother died 2.5 years ago.
Sorry.
That's okay. The estate is worth $2 million. I have one sibling, and I'm entitled to half of that estate. And for the last many years, the Toronto police, certain politicians and media set me up and framed me. They murdered me on paper. They sold my identity around the world,
I'm sorry, that's insane. Really?
and now it's being covered up by the Toronto police and media and certain politicians. And it's being exposed in many ways that you wouldn't believe.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
Now,
it's gonna take me a while to come back to this. Okay.
So basically, what has happened is, because my identity was stolen, it's a very long story, but I immigrated to Israel
Yeah.
when I was 38. That's in 2008. I immigrated to Israel,
Yeah.
and that's where my identity was stolen here, and my identity from Israel, my Israeli citizenship identity, was stolen there.
Okay.
And then that identity had been sold around the world to the Five Eyes, France, Germany,
Yeah.
Australia, and basically they murdered me here on paper, all to the point that when my family dies, my parents die, they'll be able to embezzle the $1 million worth.
Oh God, that's awful. I'm sorry you're going through that. Are you okay continuing the social experiment?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you're going through that.
I'll give you my real name afterwards. You can
Yeah.
look me up. You won't believe who you're talking
I actually
to.
am curious. Yeah,
You won't believe who you're talking to. But
So,
anyways,
so you're saying the powerful should not have the right to oppress the powerless?
no, so this is where the whole
Yeah,
story
yeah,
comes
that's the
in,
word, yeah.
is the fact that, so what I wanted to say was that I have been accused, charged, tried, convicted, without seeing my accusers, without reading anything that anybody has said about me or accused me of. And this is where I'm being oppressed,
Yeah.
where I haven't been able to get a lawyer. The whole system has been cut off to me. A long story short, of course, I had to go see a court-ordered psychologist. The court-ordered psychologist told me that she sees that I'm an intelligent, highly functioning adult
Yeah.
that's been excommunicated from society. So this is where the oppression comes
Yeah, I understand that. Okay. Well, so I'll just continue with the experiment.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that if the powerful get some benefit from it, does it make oppression okay?
in. Absolutely not.
Do you think that if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed, do you think it makes the oppression right?
Of course not. It makes it absolutely worse.
Okay. So then, do you think that we as humans are oppressing animals when we're forcing them into slaughterhouses for something that is essentially optional to us?
Well, now you're talking to a person that believes, now you're getting into semantics here.
Yeah.
And you could also be getting into, I don't know how to really put it, but maybe even a biblical type of sense here, where maybe, it's not what I believe necessarily, but just maybe certain perspectives, is that maybe animals were put on this earth for humans to survive. We are the top of the food
Well, we don't
chain.
need them to survive, do we?
Well, again, now you're getting into semantics. I'm a man, and
Well, we can survive and thrive without exploiting them, right? So would you say it's morally preferable to not exploit them
Well,
if we can survive and thrive without it?
You have a different perspective of what exploitation towards animals are. I don't.
Would you say forcefully impregnate them is exploitation? Taking their babies away, is that exploitation? Killing
again-
them when they can no longer produce, is that exploitation?
Well, you're asking an opinion, and I would say no.
It's not exploitation. So if we did any of this to a human being, it would not be exploitation.
It would be exploitation, yes.
So then the action is still exploitation. Just because we change the subject to somebody who's less intelligent but still cognitive, still sentient, still conscious, doesn't mean that it's different, does it? Doesn't mean that the action is no longer exploitation.
Again, it's semantics. It's not such a black and
How would
white
you call
world.
it then? How would you call forcefully impregnating an animal, taking their baby away and killing them and killing their babies just because you want to get money or you want to get taste pleasure from it because you can survive and thrive without doing this?
A form of human survival?
But it's not survival again because we're not in survival mode. We can survive and thrive without it.
Well, you can. I can't.
Do you buy your food from a supermarket?
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you choose at the supermarket a plant-based version of whatever you're going to buy?
Because there's no way I see, again, my age, I will not
So you don't want to.
Absolutely not, man. Beef is at the heart of,
Yeah, but for
of
beef.
my diet.
Yeah, but that's for
Beef,
So
chicken.
do you acknowledge that you're oppressing these animals because you are forcing them into slaughterhouses? They don't go willy-nilly because they
Yeah,
want to.
you know what? Sure, but like I said, it's semantics. One is oppression and one is not. The oppression one is that I, in all ignorance that I am, right? I'm at the top of the food chain, and that's
So you
the
have
way it
power.
is.
That's what you're saying. You have power over them, so therefore it's justified to do it to them because you're at the top of the food chain. That's what you're trying to say, right? That you have more power than them.
From an
You
animal,
can't do it to
from an
them.
animalistic point of view, I guess. From an instinctive point of view, being at the top of the food chain, having that power allows me to survive. At
Well,
the top
again,
of the
you don't
food
have
chain.
to do this, right? So you're choosing to do this. So that's why I ask you: do you think the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless? You have power; they are powerless. And you're
Yeah.
saying that you should have the right to oppress them.
Dude, we can go on and on and on in circles forever. The bottom line is meat and whatever else it is, even eggs,
Yeah,
they're a part of my diet, and I'm not going to stop.
yeah. You're not gonna
However-
stop oppressing them.
I'm not going to stop oppressing them, yes. However much you've gotten to pull that out of me, I'm not going to stop oppressing
It's kind of
them.
sad because you say you felt oppression on yourself
Oh, yeah.
with all of this happening to you, and yet you are oppressing others who you have power
Well,
over,
I
and
think
you dismiss
There's
it.
a difference between humans and animals.
What is that difference that justifies the difference in treatment?
Well, animals don't build what you're standing around.
Did you build
Animals-
this?
No.
Did,
My
so if we-
kind did, my
so,
species
So if
did.
you find, so individuals who are part of your group
Yes.
somehow deserve moral consideration. Don't you think that's a little bit
Again,
convenient?
human chain here. Like the
What is the difference?
difference is that we think for ourselves.
So what if
have
we
the
find
ability
humans who
to
have
create.
what if we have the humans? What if you find humans who have the cognitive abilities of an animal? Who
Yes.
they cannot create. They cannot think for themselves.
Well, then they slowly die away, or they go to prison.
Should we be allowed to force them into slaughterhouses for optional products?
At one time, it was considered that way.
But should we be allowed to do that?
Well, so at one time it was yeah, no problem.
Yeah, sorry.
At one time it was considered that way, but no more. And now we just house them, we prison them,
Yeah.
or we let them slowly die off
Yeah. So is it so?
in a form of genocide. Yes.
So then again, in the same context, forcing these people into slaughterhouses, would you say it's moral to do that?
Absolutely not.
So then, would you say it's moral to do animals with the same to do the same to animals, the same cognitive abilities as them?
Well, again, I think you're talking about semantics and
No, you're
food
just saying
chain
that there's a
and
difference, but you can't name the difference.
the only difference I can name is that I'm a human and that I require more than what a cow requires.
So that's the same thing that white people were saying about black people during slavery. The only thing I can say is I'm a white person, and white people are part of my group. My group is the superior one. Therefore, do you think
So
you're
let me
superior
ask
to
you,
animals?
man, at what time, at what point does this social experiment end and the beginning of you bullying an answer out of me start?
Yeah, I mean, either when you admit that you exploit and
I
abuse
think
animals.
I just did.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
I did when I was standing right over
Yeah.
there.
I mean, I'm just trying to speak up on their behalf. It's said that you.
I think that's very admirable that you are, but I don't think it's going to change anything.
Well, not for
Especially
you.
from
Some
a
people did want to
52-year-old,
change.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen 65 years old, 70-year-old people who want to change
Not
because
me, my friend.
because they have moral values and they acknowledge that other people have moral value. Other
Yeah,
animals
well,
have moral values.
You know what I'll tell you? And please, it's no offense to you. It's just what comes out of my head.
Sure.
The next time I go to the keg,
Yeah.
I'm going to think of you.
Okay.
But only in the way that for myself.
Okay.
That I'm going to dig into that nice piece of steak
Yeah.
and I'm going to enjoy it with every piece of juice
Yeah.
that comes out of into my mouth.
Yeah. Maybe think about how the animal had their throat cut and forced into a slaughterhouse for that.
I won't care.
How they begged for mercy to stop.
I won't care.
You won't care.
I
Okay,
will
that's
not
okay.
care.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. I mean, that's not okay. It's still kind of psychotic, but okay.
Well, I think again now you're encroaching on now getting offensive.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Then let's just end that social experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to call someone psychotic because
I
they're
mean, it's a bit
human
psychotic to
beings.
say that you don't care that an animal has their throat cut for you
No,
when
but
you
neither
can
do
choose
like
otherwise.
so many of these other
A
people.
lot of
So then
people
are
don't
you
know.
calling
A
other
lot of
people
people don't
psychotic?
know. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't think about it. When I talk to a lot of people, a lot of them acknowledge that it's bad what's happening to them, that
Dude,
they don't want to
just to
stop.
make you happy, man. Just to make you happy. And then they go out the next night with their boyfriends and girlfriends and they eat a nice piece of chicken or steak.
Perhaps, but they still want to change. You don't.
No, they
That's the
don't.
difference.
No, they,
do.
don't. No, they
do.
don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They tell you what you want to hear,
Yeah.
and then they walk away, and they don't even think of changing, dude.
And somehow people still change.
No, they don't really
I
change
changed.
so much. Well, good
Other
for
people
you.
changed.
Good for you.
Good for them.
No, good for you.
And other people changed also. Any person who's vegan, who's in my chat right now, was not born vegan, so they
Well,
were
I
changed.
can promise you that I will never become a vegan unless I most absolutely have to. I will not become a vegan.
Yeah, I understand. You just don't
I
care about animals.
enjoy eating animals. Yes, I do.
Oh, you don't care about animals, no?
Well, I love dogs and cats and
Yeah, yeah.
pets, but as far as
You only love the animals you were told to love, and you don't respect the other animals that you were told not to respect. Because that's
Well,
how you
no,
grew up.
I just
Somebody told
don't
you
eat dogs.
it's okay to kill these animals, it's not okay to kill these
Yes,
animals.
yes.
And you just go
That's
with it.
what was
you
put
don't
into my
question
psyche,
it.
yes.
You don't think, oh, maybe this person is why would we kill one, not kill the other? You don't
because
think
an
about that,
animal
yeah.
isn't a person.
Yeah, no, of course. They do have personality, they do have sentience, they do have a will to live, they have preferences. I would say that they're not given personhood, but that legal personhood. But if you ask me, all the definitions of a person, they are pretty much a person.
Well, you see, now you're getting into like the semantics with what I believe.
Yeah, I know, because you think person means only human, because you're part of human group.
No,
and-
actually, on the contrary, my friend, I believe we're more animals than we are human. And that's where the food chain comes in, is that if I believe, in my center core, I've always believed that we're more like animals than we are, as they say, human. And in my center core, we are animals, and we are at the top of the food chain. And just like most animals, they have meat or carnivores. We are also carnivores.
We're
And
not
we are at
carnivores,
the
we're
top.
omnivores. But
Well, no, you say we're omnivores.
no,
but,
science says we're omnivores. But
Well, you know what? My tongue tells me differently. Okay?
yeah, your
And,
tongue
and,
will-
and all the restaurants serving the beef and the chicken tell me differently.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, just
you
because
know?
most people oppress animals doesn't mean that it's right, right? Just because most people do it doesn't mean that it's right.
it's the way of the land, my friend.
Yeah. I
And
would-
it's survival for like 9 billion people.
It's not survival, no. It's
Yes,
it's
it
selfishness,
is.
and not 9 billion people eat meat. You would be surprised to find out that most of Western world consumes most of the animals.
Yes.
Most animals are oppressed by people from the Western world.
So yay for the Western world.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm
yay.
happy for the Western world then.
Yeah.
They know how to utilize certain products and
I'm not
make it
interested in
available
speaking
for
to you
humans.
anymore. I'm sorry.
I'm not interested in speaking to you.
Okay.
Okay, my friend? You take care. You gotta learn some skills, my friend.
I'm not interested in speaking to that person anymore. It's just not. It just wasn't worth it. But I mean, it's just a lot of things happening around me right now. So I'm just gonna move a little bit in this direction. Yeah. So I listened to his whole BS story about his identity being stolen. I mean, I don't know if it's BS. I'm sorry, I'm a bit triggered right now. But I listened to that whole story, and he goes around and says that, well, we can do what we want to animals. What a bunch of brainwashed, huh? He was awful, says Tofu Dog. Hey, Tofu Dog, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, whatever. I'm like, I just feel like my hands are freezing, and some people are not worth my time. I'm sorry. It's just that it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get somebody right now, so I might need to move because this person literally collapsed on the street right now, and the police, they're trying to help them out. And let me show you. I'm not going to show you because I don't think it's right to show you what the identity of this person or what the police are doing. So, yeah. If you're new here, thank you for being here. Welcome. I do social experiments. I speak to people. Some people are more open-minded than this person. But yeah, this person was not open-minded at all. And He just was just interested in his own experience. That's what I call selfishness. And hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. Please like this video. And yeah, Pig's Dream says film the police. You know, they're helping a person. They asked me to move a little bit on the side because they need some space. They're paramedics and police here. I don't feel comfortable doing, like, I don't feel comfortable filming them, so I just want to let them do their job. I am in Toronto, Canada right now. Come to PDX. I'd love to outreach it to you. Where's PDX? What's PDX? Hey, Anna, what's PDX? It's just a collapsed person, says Olawale. I know, but you know, I go by respecting others. Hey, you guys want to try a social experiment? I go by respecting others, including animals, and I'm like, I just feel it's a bit disrespectful to do. They're in a vulnerable situation, that person. The police is trying to take care of them. The ambulance is coming right now, and they're gonna take them away. So after they're done, we'll probably get some more people. Hey, you want to try a social experiment? Hi. Hey, you want to try a social experiment?
I'll try the social experiment.
You're keeping live on my YouTube channel?
Oh, good. Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Jackson.
Nice to meet you, Jackson.
Nice to
I'm
meet
Chip. Where are you from, Jackson?
I'm from here,
You're
Toronto.
from here? Okay, nice. Do you have a social cause that you're passionate about?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay,
I would say, yeah, like, I'm a musician, right? So, mainly, I don't know if it would be like a social cause, but I would be more for a system that promotes art and is just like more, like values art more than the one we have now. And also one that values sharing more than the one we have now.
No, interesting. Okay, what's your take on oppression?
Oppression?
Yeah.
My take on it?
Yeah, like, are you for it? Are you against it?
I would say I am against it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
I think they do currently.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean,
they do, but do you think they should have that right?
I mean, I think it's an interesting thing where we're in a situation where everything we have is built on that. You know what I mean? And like, and if we were to just remove it in a blink of an eye, I think that would be a lot for everything to handle. So, I mean,
before we, like, I'm just talking
on a
moral.
moral,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, you don't
Definitely
think so.
not.
Okay. What if the powerful get some form of benefit from it? Like, I don't know, they're just benefiting from oppressing the others, the powerless.
Yeah, I definitely think that we shouldn't live in a world where some people get to benefit off of other people's suffering, because that's definitely where we live right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed? Does that make oppression okay?
I wouldn't say it makes it okay, but I definitely think it makes it easier.
It makes it easier, but
Yeah.
not okay, right? Not morally okay.
I mean, I don't think it makes it necessarily morally okay, but I also think it allows for more, I don't know, I think it allows for a different, because like right now, one of the hardest parts about being born into oppression is seeing people that aren't, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that's one of, like, if everyone else was with you in the same thing, then it wouldn't feel like you're being oppressed. That'd just be life, right?
Yeah, but
So,
the act of oppression itself would still be wrong, right?
I mean, yeah. I think so. I think so for sure.
So do you think
Yeah.
that we as humans are oppressing animals when we're forcing them into slaughterhouses for something that is essentially optional to us?
Oh, I see the point of everything you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, are we oppressing them? I think that would be an understatement, honestly.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. I agree with you, by the way. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
an understatement.
yeah,
It's
it
far
is,
worse.
like-
yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Do you think
I
you
don't
can
know.
be against oppression while simultaneously supporting it by buying animal products?
Um, can you be against oppression and be part of this? Every day I wake up, everything I do is contributing to a system based on oppression. That's why I was kind of taking the approach of like what is instead of what I morally feel like. Like,
Yeah.
we just live in a world that's built on oppression. Like everything we do is supporting oppression.
I
pretty
understand
much.
that to some extent, right down the line, there is some form of oppression, regardless of what you do. But with this one, I would say that the oppression is pretty direct, or as you said, our oppression is an understatement because what these animals go through is an understatement. But we still have a pretty direct choice with this one, right? We can choose to not buy animal products. We can choose to buy plant-based products and not
That's true.
support this form of oppression instantly. Like, no, there's no doubt there that no animals will be oppressed for you the minute you buy plant-based products, right?
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I've thought about trying to cut down, or at least trying to, but honestly, not even for the animals. Like honestly, more for myself. Like I don't want to intake that suffering, you know?
Yeah.
Because they are suffering, like from birth, they're just put into a system that's suffering. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Unfortunately, I value convenience a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and meat is like when I've tried to go without meat, it's really hard for me to find protein and like still be full after my meals. So that's one of the main reasons I was never able to really stop doing it. And I want to, go to the butcher and like get real meat that's not been, tortured or whatever. But
Don't you think all of these animals are oppressed? Don't you think they all? Because all of these animals are killed as babies if they're killed for meat, right?
Yeah, true.
The minute that they stop growing, they get killed.
Yeah.
Because it's not financially viable for them to keep them alive the minute that they grown to the biggest mass they have, right?
Wouldn't you
So-
think that's better though than keeping them alive in like slaughterhouses, just side to side?
I mean, it's better in the sense that if you were to beat your wife with a hose, it would be better if you maybe
sure.
beat her with a little stick.
That's wild.
But you still beat the wife. You see what I mean? So it is better in that sense.
That's a wild example.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I didn't know what example to come up
No,
with.
I know
like,
what you mean though.
yeah. So of course it's slightly less worse, I guess, but we're still choosing to put them into situations where we
Yeah.
ourselves would want to be. Like, let's say all else is equal, would you do the same thing to dogs? Like, you only find dog meat in the supermarket right now. Would you buy dog meat or would you stop?
On a moral level, I wouldn't really care. On a
Yeah.
hygienic level, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure though. Like, it's probably just as hygienic. I don't know. More on a social level than anything, Like,
Yeah, because it's not socially acceptable.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But honestly, morally,
But morally, there's no difference.
I don't
is
care
there?
that much about dogs compared to a chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what about humans? If they were human meat, and just
Yeah, I would
you could
definitely not.
You would definitely
Definitely
not, right?
not.
So then, there's this thing where I ask people, like, do you think there's any difference between animals and humans that is big enough to justify this difference in treatment, where we are like oppressing one but not the other, and it feels okay to do?
I definitely don't think that. I think, I think that this whole, I always find it funny when we say humans are more intelligent, so that makes it justified.
Yeah.
I never really understood that.
Yeah. I mean, and there's also less intelligent people, right? So what, do we do this to them?
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think everyone just wants to feel okay.
Yeah.
So they find reasons to justify their wrongdoings. But at the end of the day, even, for survival, in every situation, you have to do fucked up shit,
And for survival, yes, but do you think we're in a survival situation right now? Because we go to a supermarket, we have choices. It's
Yeah,
not really
no,
a
you're right,
survival,
you're right. I mean, yeah, and I do, at the same time, like, at this point, it's not survival, it's more,
It's
just
just convenience. You call it convenience.
convenience, yeah, convenience for sure, and just the way we were raised, the way we grew up, like, what's considered normal for us,
But if you try to put yourself in this other perspective, where somebody would say it's convenient for me to oppress you,
Mhm.
would you find that fair?
I wouldn't find it fair, but that's the situation we're all in, right?
Yeah, but we still don't want that situation, right?
It's true.
And,
It's true,
And
yeah.
being on this other side where you're the oppressor, where you can make choices.
Yeah.
Don't you think you should, seeing it from this perspective, don't you think you can kind of have a moral obligation to not do this? Like,
I mean, yeah, like, I feel that way about a lot of things, honestly. I feel that way every time I buy something off Amazon, every time I buy from any big company. I feel that way, like, every single day, you know? And, I mean...
I understand that, but like,
yeah,
there is a little bit of a difference anyway between the oppression that humans go through and the oppression that animals go through. As you said at the beginning, it's an understatement what they go through, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I know, I think that, like some of the shit that, that a company like Amazon puts through people across the world.
Do they forcefully impregnate anybody?
Yeah.
They forcefully impregnate them, they rape them?
Yeah. I mean, I would
Amazon, they rape them?
I don't think in Amazon, but Amazon is, like, contributing. If you look into the war in Congo, this isn't Amazon, this is Apple.
Yeah.
But Apple is directly, like, funding that war right now, and that war is filled with all the things you just said, right?
Yeah.
I think all around, like, all these companies are supporting and partaking in things that are just as bad as the abuse that we're doing to animals.
Well, I would say
to humans.
I would say it's not just as bad because obviously there is, if you're talking about the mining resources that's happening in Congo, that's a different thing, right? The mining is a systemic issue that's happening.
Yeah.
It's part of a government that does this to people.
Yeah.
I don't think
But
you
it's
and
a
I
war
can do
too, though,
anything
right?
about it, right? Like if you and I stop, if all the people in this world stop, if all the people in this world stop buying Apple products, let's say, do you think that Congo won't still mine those resources? Another company will come in and another company will do it, right? At the end of the day, those resources will still be mined for a separate purpose.
But-
Whereas these animals, if we all stop, they don't get oppressed anymore.
Do you think it's realistic for everyone? I think it's just as realistic for, because no, everyone is not going to go vegan unless the market changes around it. You know, like the economy has to change. Like as a vegan, you can change the mind of however many people, but to change the mind of everyone, you have to change the entire market and the entire because so much of our economy runs on people buying meat. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand that.
Most of the grocery market is based on that. So to consider everyone stopping eating meat, I understand it on a moral level and on a contextual and on a personal level. I really do understand that choice, and I really respect that choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, but on a realistic level, I really don't
I
understand.
mean, realistically, obviously, I don't believe that the whole world will go vegan during my lifetime.
Yeah.
I believe it will happen at some point because it's just highly unsustainable to do what we do to animals. It's unsustainable. It's not productive. We feed it takes 8 times more land to get 1 gram of animal protein versus 1 gram of plant protein. It's highly inefficient. We literally grow food that we could ourselves eat, but then we feed the animals and then we cut the animals and parts of the animal we eat because we don't eat the whole animal, you know.
Yeah,
So either way, even if we did eat the whole animal, it would still not be okay. And we do a lot of fucked up shit to animals just to justify something that we want. And the reality is that they do it because it's money. It's an industry. That's the only reason why they do it. It's not like it's like if they didn't have governmental incentives, if you wouldn't buy it, if other people wouldn't buy it, they wouldn't do it. They're not like telling you, hey, you know what, I'm looking out for you, I'm telling you to eat it. No, they're selling you a product. They're asking you to buy. But behind that, the worst part about it is the removal of the rights of a whole group of individuals who, you know, they deserve moral consideration also, don't you think?
Yeah, man. This is the world we live in. You know?
Yeah, but you don't have to be part of that. That's the reality, right? That's the thing about it, right? There's people in this world who do awful shit, but we at some point we gotta ask ourselves, do we want to be part of it? And yeah, the situation right now is where most people are part of this awful shit.
Yeah.
The question is, do you also want to be part of it?
Well, the thing is I know you would disagree with this, but me personally, I see it on the same level of morally incorrect as systemic racism.
It is. It's a form of
offshoring,
it's speciesism. It's a form of discrimination.
Yeah, and I see it on the same level. And like for me to get rid of, to go down on that, there would be an imbalance for me to then like still purchase Apple products and still do that. And then like I feel like,
Come on, like, are you saying that? So if everybody in the world would be racist, would you be racist?
no. That's
but
not what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
what I'm
what
talking
you-
about contributing to a system.
Yeah,
right?
but-
it's not about my own values in the world, because my own values in the world are very different
No,
than
but what you're saying-
what I'm consuming.
Let me
right?
say. Let me get this straight. What you're saying is that you're not going to be perfect, so might as
Yeah.
well do this.
That's not what I'm saying.
Because that's what you said. You said that it's equal to the things that are happening when you buy Apple products, right?
Yeah.
So then, don't buy Apple products. But the question is, why would you contribute to this injustice, right? Like,
Well, I already
there's
said,
obviously
like-
several injustices in the world.
Yeah.
But then what I'm telling you is that you have an option to stop one of the injustices that you're contributing to, and you're saying, well, if I can't stop all of them, then I'm going to participate in all of them.
Yeah, no, that is true. But I don't know. Like as I said, I've tried laying off on meat, and I felt it was hard to get enough protein in, and it was hard.
Let's say
to
if you
feel-
find a solution to make it work, I'll give you resources to help you make it work. But you
Yeah.
gotta want it, because nowadays you have ChatGPT. You have ChatGPT in your pocket right now. If you ask ChatGPT, hey, I'm on this location, I want to eat the plant-based food, I have this budget, it will give you a response easily.
That's true.
And it will give you a solution for as much protein as you want, right? Like, you can find a way to make it work. You're just gonna want it. And it's
Yeah,
not even
and
that
honestly,
much
I don't
work.
want it. I don't honestly don't want it. The main thing that I would want, and the main thing I would do, is just buy meat that's like better. Because honestly, the other thing is I'm not.
But that's just to make
I'm not-
yourself feel better. It's not better for the animal.
Yeah, I know. I'm not like, oh no, the animals. That's not why I care about what I eat, and that's not why I tried to stop eating meat. I stopped eating meat because I didn't want to eat that suffering. I didn't want to put that onto myself, right? I mean,
Do you
I
think
really, I'm
animals
not
don't
like,
suffer when they killed by a butcher? Do you think the killing is not suffering?
no,
No.
I don't think so.
Well, it is. They get forcefully killed, and they get killed as babies again, and they still get enslaved and exploited. So it's still.
Sure, yeah, but I see it as different because the main thing that's different to me is just the environment that they're in when they're alive, right? Yeah.
So if they're treated well, it's okay to kill them.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if they're treated well, I'd rather eat it. Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather leave them alone?
I don't know. I don't really like honestly, I do also believe that we as humans just like we do eat meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but obviously a lot of people do it. But a lot of people also rape women. A lot of people, they steal.
No, but I mean like on
it's
a
justified just
human
because
level.
Humans do it just because.
But I feel like
You mean biologically? We don't need to eat meat biologically.
we don't need to, but
Yeah, just
we
because.
do.
Yeah, but this is the propaganda that these industries have fed you, right?
Right.
There's the stuff that tells you, yeah, all of you do it because we make the money, right?
That's true.
It doesn't have to be this way, and it's not about me dismantling these industries. I don't care who has money, who doesn't.
Yeah.
For me, it's about the infringing of the rights of some innocent beings. They're the most innocent. They don't have a voice, and they put their trust in farmers. They put their trust in us, and we fuck that trust and slash their throat. And for something that we can survive without, we can thrive without even. You right now are gonna go to a supermarket, and you can literally go 10 meters on the right and choose something else. Literally, that's all you have to do. That's not even a big deal. You can pick up your phone and consume 5 calories while searching for something. Literally, that's the least amount of effort
I
one
mean,
can
like,
do.
how do you justify having your phone?
I mean,
Your phone was made by like children in a place where they're barely getting paid, and like these children are like killing themselves because they have to like do that. How do you justify that?
I mean, I can't, right? But
Exactly.
the whole
I'm on the same
but
boat. Why would you contribute to that? You could not have a
There's a
phone. You
difference.
could separate yourself from the system and
No,
go off the
there's a-
grid.
there's a
You
difference.
could though.
I can't.
But you could.
No, I'm a software engineer. I can't. That's why my job is part of. But that doesn't matter, right? Because you have readily available options, man. Come on, like I feel like right now you're attacking me for my choices.
You're attacking me for my
I'm
choices.
not attacking you.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
are.
telling you what you're doing. What the choice what you're
I'm
making.
telling you
What
what
are
you're
my
doing.
choices? My choices
Pardon?
are to have a food or I'm not telling you your choice is not between having food or not having food, right? You're telling
Yeah.
me between having a phone and not having a phone. My choice is
Would you
between-
say your
if I
phone
had,
is as important
let's
as
put it
food?
this way. Let's put it this way. If I had two choices, one that exploits an animal, one exploits a human, and one doesn't, I'll always choose the one that doesn't. You have a choice between your food. One
But that's
exploits
exploiting humans too.
well, as I said, if I have a choice between one that exploits human and one that doesn't, I would always choose the one that doesn't. Do you have a choice between exploiting animals and not?
I mean, yeah.
So there you
But
go.
you don't know.
I'm just telling you, to
don't
have
know.
that
You
choice.
haven't looked into the options.
I
You know
did
what
look
mean?
into the options, and first of all, and second of all, I appreciate you saying that because that's why I'm not buying a new phone anymore. That's why
Right.
because there's no good options anymore. Because I
Yeah.
can't justify what you're saying. I'm trying to do my best, right?
Yeah.
But either way, like this choice you make 3 times per day, and it's arguably monumentally worse,
Mm-hmm.
forcefully impregnating somebody, take their babies away, killing them, killing their babies, slashing their throat when they're what? When did you? How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
I don't know, 20.
Yeah.
20.
I'm 19. I turned 20 in a month.
Yeah, okay. So imagine you stop growing at 20, 21. Imagine
Yeah.
somebody killing you right now because they give you a good life and they start killing you because you're not
Yeah.
going to grow anymore.
Yeah, I,
mean,
would
that's
hate
what we
that
do
until
to
I'm
them.
dead and I can't think anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just come on, man. It's just
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
it's undeniably there's no difference between the treatment.
Yeah.
It's just monumentally worse. And I'm not here trying to point a finger at you, trying to make you feel guilty or some shit. I'm here trying to tell you that you can make a change, that you can do better.
Yeah.
That it's not. I'm not here to make people feel shitty about their choices. I'm here to make people make changes.
No, yeah, no, I respect you. Here, let me just make sure I'm not late for class because I do have a class at 3. Oh no, I'm good. I got like a few more minutes. But sorry, what did you just say?
Yeah, I'm just saying that I'm here trying to tell you that a choice that you so easily could make could make you not oppress some animals. If you tell me about one of the choices that I'm making, I would always not make that choice, right? That's what I believe. I would look into it first of all, of course, because we're strangers.
Right.
And I would try to not make that choice. Isn't that what we're trying? Isn't that how we better society?
Honestly, if I'm gonna be real with you, I think everything from the beginning of colonization since till now, everything is built on genocide and suffering. And I think
Does that justify doing more of it?
I don't think that justifies doing more of it.
So
but-
why does that matter?
Because that's the world we live in. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But imagine saying somebody raping a woman, saying the world we live in. There's women being raped every day. That's the world
Yeah.
we live in. So of
but
course
it is the world. It's
It
true.
is, but that doesn't justify doing it yourself.
But I'm not doing it myself. There's a difference between
Supporting
contributing it to it and doing it.
Do you think
agree
that?
with that?
No. Well, let me put it this way, because your action is way more direct, right? Like if you stopped, 100 animals would be spared. Do you
No.
think? Well, that's the calculation. 100 animals per year would be spared. Do you think that that's nothing? Even if it's one animal per year, it's their whole life, man. For you, it's nothing. Again, it's just a simple choice. Go 5 meters to the left of a supermarket or right. I don't even know. But
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think the thing is like if I stop that, then I have to stop a bunch of other things by my moral compass. You know what I mean? And it's like at the end of the day, we're all humans doing our best. You know what I mean?
are you doing your best? Because again, this is easy for you to change.
I'm learning and I'm doing as best as I can in the things that I know. You know what I mean? And like, look, I try not to go to any big companies, but at the end of the day, the other thing is, and
So
I think
if you
another
try
thing we
to not go-
disagree with is I don't really, this is kind of crazy. And a lot of people disagree with me. The people that really know me understand why I think this, but I very much value life. I value the life of the people around me. I value the life of the earth, and I value the collective conscious that we are all a part of, and I value emotion, I value spirituality, I value like
Anyway.
everyone I talk to, you know what I mean? But we live in this weird time where like there is so much happening, and we know so much about the world. Like we know way more than we were ever supposed to know about the world. Do you know what I mean? Like what's happening in the other side of the world. We know what's happening. We know what's happening here. We don't really know, but like we hear about it, and we hear stories, and we hear these things, and it's crazy to me that like all of this knowledge is in us, but then we just wake up in our day, and then we go to the supermarket and we buy meat, and we go here and we contribute to this system, and we do this, and we're just living our lives the way we were raised, and the way
That's not a good
that-
justification, right?
I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just telling you what
Yeah, but
is
you-
happening.
I feel like when we talk about what humans do, what societies
Yeah.
do, it's so easy to detach ourselves from the problem, from our responsibility in the matter, right? But do you think that you have a responsibility when you make these choices? Because I understand that you say everybody makes choices like this. I understand that. But do you have a responsibility?
I
know.
do, and I'm also not like, I'm not the perfect person. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even consider myself
You
like.
don't have to be a perfect person. I'm
Yeah,
just
but-
telling you, like, you can choose otherwise, man. Like, I'm not telling you, like, I feel like
Yeah.
you're trying to make this. You're either a dirt bag or you're leaving.
That's not what I'm
respecting
saying. That's
animals,
not what
or-
I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Like, there's not two options, right? There's multiple options in between. And
That's
as
true,
you said,
yeah.
there's multiple systems of oppression. I'm just.
But
telling
honestly,
you, don't
I think
contribute to this one.
I think the biggest thing is like I'm not that attached. The main reason I was trying to say that, I'm not attached that much to animals in the first place. You know what I mean? Like.
So you
what
don't
about-
put
what about-
value on them.
What
but-
about the trees that we cut down?
But let me ask you this.
What about the trees?
I'll explain in a second.
What about the trees? What's your name?
Chip?
Chip. What's with the trees? They're dying too.
But first
That's
of all,
life too.
First of all, I don't condone cutting trees down. First of all, second of all, trees are not sentient.
What
Do you
about
know
that
what
cardboard?
sentience? Do you know what
What
sentience?
Chip? What about that cardboard? A tree died for that cardboard.
Let me finish first of all.
That's your responsibility.
So let me finish. First of all, that's plastic. No, so the tree didn't die for that. But let me finish. First of all, the biggest deforestation is happening because of animal agriculture. So if you care about trees, stop eating
Interesting.
animals.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what
That's
I'm
number one.
saying.
Number two, extrinsic value, which is the value that you place on animals, and you say values don't matter, animals don't matter to me. You know, I didn't used to care about it. I started caring about animals ever since I went vegan, but I didn't care about animals before that. The reality is that extrinsic value isn't important. What's important is intrinsic value,
Right.
because the value that they have themselves, right? I can place a value on you, on this, any other person on the street, and say none of them matter to me. If this person right there somewhere, they die tomorrow, I don't give a shit. Literally, I don't know who they are. I don't care. Many people die today.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that to them, it's not everything. It's that they have intrinsic value for themselves. So an animal not dying, an animal dying for you, maybe you don't care because you're disconnected, you don't see it. They don't matter to you, but they matter to them. They have intrinsic value themselves. Them being exploited for you when you can choose otherwise easily. That's the whole point of it, you see? It's about realizing that value doesn't come from us, what we value, but rather they themselves have value.
Yeah. I'm curious, what did other people say? What did like when you did how is the social experiment going? Like what is
More people, some people are okay, some people are not, you know, everybody's like, because at the end, you know, I'm asking people to change something that is pretty fundamental in their life. I understand that, right? And some people obviously are going to be reluctant to do it, but some people are going to be reluctant to it, but there's also people who are like, you know, you're right, maybe I need to change. Some people say I'll change slowly, some people say I'll change fast. Depends. Every person is different. But there's people who want to change, hence why there's more and more vegans happening, because there's people who want to change. Because there's people who don't want to be part of this. That's the reality, you know. It's sleeping at night, going to bed, that's the first step. That was the first step for me, going to bed knowing that, you know what, I can't justify the shit that happens to them, and I can't justify me supporting it because I can easily choose otherwise. That's how I became vegan. And in order for me to sleep at night and not feel ultra guilty about the shit that I do, about the choices that I make, I said it's easier to be vegan, and it is simpler. It is easier than trying to do mental gymnastics of everybody does it. There's this, there's that. Yeah, there's this, there's that. But at the end of the day, this is in front of me. There's choices in front of me, and I can make it. I can make different choices.
Yeah. No, that's a lot. That's a lot to think about. I have I don't know.
Can I give you a card to look into it? I mean, I just want you to think about it more, at least.
Sure, you can give me a card. Yeah.
But only if you look into it.
Let me see the card. What's on the card?
It's just a link to something.
It's a link? Do I have to type in the link?
No, you can scan it. It has a QR code.
It has a QR code?
Yeah, you can scan it.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to look at it. Yeah.
No, then I'm not going to give it to you. Oh, I'll just ask you this and I'll end it, okay? How many more animals do you want to be exploited for you before you change?
That's a ridiculous question, man. I don't know. Dude, look, I would love to be able to change just for you. I would be able to just be but I'm probably not, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably not gonna do that. But I do really appreciate this conversation. I love how passionate you are. I really do. I think it's great. And the fact that you're coming out here to just on your own time, just doing this, I really respect it. So kudos to you.
But think about the animals. It's not about me.
I will. No. And I'm not gonna lie. That's why I wanted to come here, because it is something I will think about.
Okay. Well, there's at least that. I get you to think about something.
For sure. No. I will think about this conversation later.
Okay.
For
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, Google the most important speech you'll ever hear. You'll like it.
The most important speech, and a vegan thing will show up.
Yeah, maybe.
shit.
Maybe a vegan thing will show up. I don't know.
Okay.
I hope so. It's by Gary Yourofsky. That's what I was gonna give you as a resource, but you don't want to have that. That's what's wrong with you, man? Just take a resource and
Hey,
watch
man,
it.
I don't know. But yeah,
Just
appreciate
look
you.
into it, because you don't want to be part of this, man. Trust me, the minute you see what's happening, because we have this vision of it, but the minute you see what's happening, you're like, shit, this is much worse than you
Yeah,
think. It's much
dude, it's crazy because I'm doing mushrooms tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be thinking about that, and then you might actually
Perfect
convert me
time,
that.
perfect time,
You might
perfect
convert me
time.
tomorrow, actually.
I hope
I'll just be
so.
going back
Think
oh
about
my
that.
god, yeah.
Think about that. Think about it.
How many will it take?
How many
until-
more animals? Think about that.
All right, yeah.
All right.
All right, peace out, man. Take
Have
care.
a good one. Hey, you want to try a social experiment?
Sure, I'm always down.
Okay.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah, are you okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Sure.
What's your name?
Marmalade.
I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Chip.
So I turn this around and you tell me what you think.
Animal abuse should be legal. Change your mind.
Yeah. Do you agree that animal abuse should be legal?
No.
Why not?
Unnecessary pain should not be inflicted upon animals.
Okay. What do you mean by unnecessary?
There's no rhyme or reason to animal abuse. There is not a single scenario where, if there is for some reason, then it doesn't count as abuse. For example, kicking a dog, just not something you do unless, for example, the dog is already biting your leg. Then it's not animal abuse, then it's just self-defense. But otherwise, it's animal abuse.
Okay, so let me see if I get this right. So what if I get benefit from abusing animals?
Well, it depends on how you're benefiting.
If I kick a dog, I work out.
You could kick other stuff.
I could kick other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I could work out. So it would still be abuse.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
It's wrong to abuse them as well.
Okay. Do you think that behind animal products there's some inherent abuse?
Just the world we live in.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to actually find, it is going to be nearly impossible to find food manufactured from animals that was actually fully ethically made, because it's just way cheaper.
Exactly. We can't
shove
find
them all
food
in
from
cages, yeah.
animals without exploiting them or slaughtering them. So,
I mean,
so then
very,
do you
very,
think,
very rare cases you can actually find proper, ethically sourced food from animals.
But we can survive and thrive without any animal products, right?
Well, the natural order has animals eating other animals, right?
Yeah, but
the natural order doesn't have animals abusing other animals.
Why does
for
that
example.
matter? Why does it matter what happens in nature?
That's just nature, I guess.
Yeah, but
I'd say.
in nature, you know, animals rape other animals. Animals, they do all sorts of weird shit in nature. They shit on the animals. They pee lifting their leg and going like this or whatever. Like they do weird things, right? They sniff each other's butt. They think we as humans should be doing these kind of stuff because it happens in nature.
I think as long as the animal has a peaceful life up until its death, I don't see something wrong with it.
Did you have a peaceful life?
So far,
Yeah.
I'm among one of the lucky people on Earth. I'd say, yeah, it's been pretty peaceful.
Would it be okay for somebody to take your life now because they like the taste of your flesh?
Not really, but there is also a difference between humans and animals.
What is that difference?
Humans are, for example, the only species to actually be having a debate about whether it's ethical to,
So
eat
is it
animals.
intelligence? Is that what you're saying?
It's beyond intelligence. It's something that's hard to define, I'd say.
So if we find a human being that has the cognitive abilities, who cannot debate a person who has the cognitive abilities of an animal, who is pretty much like, I don't know, intellectually challenged or something, would it be okay to do to them what we do to animals?
Well, even in intellectually challenged people, there is something beyond intellect. There's more. It's hard to define, but there is there's something beyond intelligence, beyond emotional intelligence. There's just something fundamental, I'd say, that's different.
What is that?
It's hard to define.
Well, that just means that there isn't. It's hard to define to me. It just
No,
means there isn't.
it's just because I lack the word to describe it doesn't mean it's
No, it's true.
not there.
But the way I see it is, you
even an intellectually challenged person, to use an example from my favorite TV show, if you took a pencil and you said, "Hey, this is Steve," and then you broke that pencil, a part of us inside would die a little with that pencil. That's just the human condition, right?
Empathy.
Empathy,
Yeah.
I guess.
Animals have empathy also.
I don't think it's to the same level.
Does
I
it
don't
matter?
know.
So if we find a human being with lower levels of
There-
empathy,
there is
you know,
a fundamental,
psychopaths.
there is a fundamental difference between what it means to be human and what it means to be non-human, I guess.
I mean, I think you're just grasping at straws at the end of the day because how do you live? Do you not go by your emotions? Do you not have a subjective experience? Do you don't make choices? What is it between your life and that's different from an animal's life? Don't we all make the same choices? We want the same thing. We want to just freedom, be left alone, be loved, make babies, whatever it is that we want to do at the end of the day, right? We all have our own free will and free choices. Why would you think an animal doesn't have the same?
Again, it's hard to define. I don't know. That's just, I guess. I don't know. There is something that's like very fundamentally different between humans and animals that's allowed humans to get here, I guess.
We have higher intellect. We have power over them, but that doesn't mean
There is something more though.
I mean, you keep saying that, but you can't say what it is.
Well, no.
It just feels to me like you relate to them more. It just feels to me like you can empathize with humans more, and you empathize with animals less, right? But like, let's put it in the scope of dogs. Would you do what we do to dogs? Would you do to dogs what we do to cows? Forcefully impregnate them, to take their babies, kill them, kill their babies?
No, but that's I'm also a religious person. I'm a Muslim, so I eat only halal food. So pigs, for example, I don't eat. Right? Any animal that.
What does it mean to not eat? What does it mean? What does to you? What does halal or haram? What does haram food mean to you?
Haram food, that's what contains anything mind-altering. For example, alcohol, or at least just at a level where if you eat a large
In
enough
the
amount.
context of animal products.
In the context of animal products, it's does it eat meat and is it clean, right? For example, pigs, they're not very clean animals. You can't eat them.
As far as I know, there's also a clause about suffering, about not.
Yes, I was getting to that.
Yeah.
Right, and then for the end of the animal's life, you must not mistreat the animal, of course. Treat it properly, not abuse it, as said. And then when you go to end the animal's life, you have to first you say Bismillah, which means in the name of God, right? You lift their necks gently, you get them as calm as possible, and then in one swift motion, you cut their, is it the jugular? I don't know. You cut the large vein so that they swiftly bleed out to death, right? And that's what it means for, and those are the requirements for the food to be halal. And it must not have blood in the final product.
So you said not mistreat the animal, right?
Sorry?
You said not mistreat the animal.
Yes.
So do you consume any dairy products?
Yes.
Do you know what happens to dairy cows for them to produce milk?
I'm gonna assume it's not very good. I'd guess.
Yeah,
Right.
so cows need to be pregnant to produce milk, right? They're mammals just like us.
Sure.
So farmers, they forcefully impregnate them. Literally, somebody puts their hands in their anus to hold their cervix and injects bull semen on their vagina.
Okay.
And this is standard practice across the board. When the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
Killed, or are
if
they
they're
used
if they're
for,
male, they
meat?
get killed. Yeah. The
Oh,
first thing that happens is they get separated from their mothers because they would drink their mother's milk, and we say no,
Right.
it's our milk. So that's already distressful for the mother cow, right? It's distressful for the baby also.
Right.
And if the baby is male, yes, they get killed or sometimes starved to death because it's more profitable to let them starve. If they're female, year-over-year forceful impregnation for 6 to 8 years, after which, if they can no longer be impregnated with ease, then the farmer says, you gotta die. They can't keep them alive if they don't produce.
Right.
Wouldn't you say this is abusive?
Yes, there is. I do not like. I agree with you. The industry itself is quite abusive. It's quite horrid.
This happens on
Just,
small farms also, not just large farms. Small farms, large farms, all across the board.
I mean, I think we can. There is a way to not forcefully impregnate cows. Cows do just randomly get pregnant. If while they're pregnant, you happen to milk.
But
them,
you're
I
not
don't see-
supporting that, are you?
I don't think that the current state of the dairy industry is very good. No.
So is it haram to buy dairy?
It's the halal haram doesn't actually apply to the products of animals, or like, for example, all
I get it,
eggs.
but animals
Yeah.
are mistreated for that product and they're killed and mistreated, right? You don't know how a cow was killed when you buy milk, yet you know that they were killed. You know that their babies were killed, you don't know how they were killed. But even if they were killed in a way that you liked, they were still mistreated, right? Forcefully impregnate them, having their babies taken from them, that's all mistreatment. So you're still supporting that.
Yeah. Well, I don't generally drink milk either way.
Well, cheese, I don't know, dairy
Cheese.
products, and yogurt, there's so much ice cream, whatever. There's a lot of stuff that
Right,
contains
true,
dairy,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like obviously we can pick and choose scenarios where we're like, this is good, this is bad, this is weird, this is whatever. But the reality is, in all of these scenarios, animals get exploited and slaughtered for us in awful ways. And for us to say that there is a right way of killing them when we have the option not to kill them, regardless of religion, wouldn't you say it's morally preferable to not kill them or to not exploit them when we have that option to not do it?
Sorry, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, no,
What you're
that's
saying.
okay, that's
Yeah.
okay, take it. If there's something you don't understand, let me know, because I
Yeah,
don't know.
of course.
So, yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, I can't really find a flaw with what you're saying. I'll be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's how I went vegan, by the way, right? The whole
Right.
reason why I went vegan was because I couldn't justify doing this to them when I have so many readily available options.
Yeah.
It's like
I fully respect you for that. You
Yeah.
know, to have that kind of willpower,
But
of like, you know,
don't you think that because for me it wasn't necessarily about willpower, it was just me sleeping at night. It was I can't sleep at night knowing that I actively choose for an innocent being to go into a slaughterhouse for me when I can choose otherwise, when this being is nothing more than a dog or cat. There's literally no difference between them. To them, their life matters just as much as our life matters to us. It's their whole universe. They have a subjective experience. Like, for me to end their life, to exploit them, to do all those awful things just because, I don't know, I was used to it, I was born this way, or whatever other reason was in my head. I don't even remember anymore, but I just couldn't justify it. That's all I remember. I remember saying, I gotta stop. Don't you think that we all have to stop at some point?
well, in my religion,
Yeah.
God talks about forbidding yourself from that which He has made permissible for you. right? And so for me, in my
I
belief
understand
system,
that. I know about
No.
Muslims, but like,
Yeah.
but like, let me ask you, because also in the Quran is the one of the few places where it says, if you harm an animal when you don't need to, it's haram, it's wrong.
Yeah.
So we don't need to harm these animals. We don't need to kill them. Even if you, let's say in a survival situation, the way I interpret it, that because right, all of these religious texts have room for interpretation. So
Yeah.
the way I interpret this is that, you know what, in a situation of survival, they're just telling me choose this, and try to make it nice for them, for the animals, so that they don't suffer. But you know what? We're not in those situations. We're not in survival situations. We're not back in those times when they maybe had to. We're in a time where we can go to a supermarket, move 10 meters to the right, and choose something else where no animal was exploited or slaughtered for us.
I mean, I'm far from an expert, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always much more religiously, but we also follow in the example of our prophet. If our prophet did not do something, even if it is permissible, then we just avoid it. Either way, right? But he did eat meat, right? And
I understand that, but like,
I think
but
the
you-
main interpretation of that is that need can be like for food products.
need. Yeah, but this isn't need, is it? It's want. It's gluttony. It's not sustenance. Because when we make a choices, right? Like if you have a plant-based version and an animal-based version, both of them give you sustenance. Why would you choose the animal-based version? Because you like the taste. Isn't that a form of pleasure that you get because you choose this? Isn't that a form of gluttony where you're like, I'm choosing this because I'm actively choosing to exploit and slaughter an animal because I can, because it gives me more pleasure, or because I think it gives me more pleasure? Because the reality, plant-based foods taste awesome.
Sorry?
Plant-based foods taste awesome, so there's no like. Most of the time it's just this. We're used to it. We're just like we've gone through this. We're used to this taste, but the reality is both of them can taste amazing.
I've had to eat plant-based food in a lot of
Yeah.
situations when halal wasn't even an option.
Yeah.
Right. And there are differences that are there, but
But
yeah,
do
it
those
can taste awesome.
differences
Yeah.
justify that the
Yeah, but
treatment?
that's not. I just
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
thinking. See, where was I? Sorry. You were saying plant-based foods, right? Oh yes. I was going to ask you. I don't know the answer to my question, so this is an actual question.
Yeah.
Is plant-based food, can that sustain everyone on Earth?
It can,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
I mean,
can.
I actually got a lot of this question today. Interesting. So,
Yeah.
reality is, a lot of the times when we think about it, we forget that these animals have to be fed themselves. So, most of the soy, most of the corn is grown to feed these animals themselves. So, instead of us making some products from this soy, from this corn, and eating them ourselves, we feed them to the animals and then we eat the animals. It's highly inefficient. But also, there are studies showing that it takes like 6 to 8 times more land to produce 1 gram of animal protein than 1 gram of plant-based protein. So yeah, it would be, I think, if the whole world would be vegan, we would be in a much better place in all regards. Because imagine if we respect animals, we are obviously going to respect each other also more.
I mean, there's also, for example, with plant-based food, you're going to be importing a lot of it, especially in Canada, where what can we grow? We can grow what does Canada grow? I'm not sure on this.
Well,
We
I don't
have
know.
dairy farming. That's what I know, but that's
I don't know
yeah.
also, and I'm not from
Yeah.
Canada, but like I can tell you that either way, these animals are definitely, if not fully, a portion of it is 100% fed soy or corn. So,
Right.
and that is usually grown where, because soy grows everywhere. They
Yeah.
genetically modified it to grow here. They genetically modified it to
Yeah.
grow there. It grows everywhere. So, I'm pretty sure that that's primarily the primary thing that
Right.
they also do in Canada. So they don't necessarily have to import. But even if they did, again, like, would you say we have to kill a certain type of population, a certain type of animals, just because we have to import? Because we ourselves created some rules in this world where, you know what,
No,
we created
I
these
was
rules,
going
but we have to morally.
The import thing. What I was going with was so when you look at a human versus an animal,
Yeah.
would you say you value the human more or the animal more, or would you put them at an equal
So
sort
I
of
would
thing.
say, for me, when we discuss about values, there's an extrinsic value and an intrinsic value. I would say the value that I place on humans is different, right? Like I would say, you
Right.
value to me less than I value my family value does to me,
Right, yeah.
less than the dog that they have, right? Like
Let's say it's an animal being abused for animal product, or food being imported from some third world country where the food is prepared by people who are either in sweatshops or in horrific conditions or basically slaves.
Yeah, it's a difficult question to say, right? Like, which one would I
Yeah.
rather have abused, a human or
Right,
an animal? I
because-
would say none of them should be abused at the end
Well,
of the day.
yes,
right?
of course.
Yeah. So,
But unfortunately, the world we live in.
but that's not the
at
choices
moment-
that you have, right? That you're realizing that, right? I just want to correct them because this is a hypothetical scenario that you pointed out to me, and that's maybe a difficult hypothetical scenario to respond to. But I'll say that in this current situation that we're in, we have to choose between one that exploits an animal and one that doesn't. And
Well-
you know what? In the exploitation of animals, there's also exploitation of humans because the slaughterhouse workers are not people who go about their day saying, oh, I can hardly wait to go to work and slaughter some animals. They're humans who are in this situation because they're either immigrants who have no choice but they want to be in a better country. They're people taken from situations and they're used to be there, and they end up with PTSD, with all sorts of mental issues. They end up beating their wife, doing all sorts of stuff because you know what, when you do this stuff with blood all day, it sucks.
Yeah, no, my grandmother, she was her dad would sometimes slaughter cows, and to
Yeah.
this day she can't stand the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, my question is, for example, bananas.
Yeah.
Do you eat bananas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 90% of the bananas, they are produced in countries with, I'd say, probably worse conditions than in the slaughterhouses for the workers.
Yeah.
Right? To the point that
But none of
believe
them go through
Chiquita-
what the animals go through, right?
Sorry?
None of them go through what animals go through. And if you have a problem with what animals go with, but what people go through for bananas, don't eat bananas, right? I'm just here speaking on behalf of animals, right? You can say, yeah, there's plenty of people getting exploited all over the world for all sorts of choices, and you know what? You can sit and talk about those choices. And if I talk to you about those, and you provide to me options for those, then I will choose those options. But the reality is, in this scenario, that's what I'm doing to you. I'm telling you, animals are exploited for you. You have options, so why not choose otherwise?
I mean, the options for me are, for example, either like I'm not trying to like catch you here. I'm just trying to explore this conversation with you. It's not a conversation I've had before.
Yeah.
Right. So like, for me, it seems to me that the choice is either, animals are abused and humans to a lesser degree, or I get some, for example, bananas. And there's other foods, but I'm just thinking of bananas because I know Chiquita, the banana company, had like a role in a coup of a government just to make their bananas cheaper.
That doesn't mean
Right.
exploitation in the business
Right, but
necessarily,
like-
of course.
But like, Chiquita, the company that produces bananas, has caused human death, right? Which I'd say is a worse thing.
I don't
than-
think it's a worse thing. I think it's the same thing. But either way, it doesn't matter, right? Again, it doesn't matter. Like you're just trying to, you're extrapolating something, and you're saying every time I buy a banana that will happen. No, it won't. But every time you buy an animal product, an animal will get exploited for you. When you buy a Chiquita banana, it's not one worker will be exploited because you bought that banana, right? Will that happen? No. But if you buy one animal product, one animal will be exploited because you bought that product.
Well-
And it's, even if you see it as a bit of a more complex situation, again, these are two separate issues.
The way I see it, there is.
Don't eat bananas
There's-
again. I'm not telling
yeah.
you to eat bananas.
No,
I'm telling
what I'm
you.
saying is there's really no, like, there's very, very few foods that are actually sourced fully ethically where there are no animals abused.
But it's not about
There's no
sourcing them
humans
fully
abused.
ethically, right? Because everything that you're saying applies also to animal products. Because animals are fed, right? They're fed soy, they're fed corn, they're fed other stuff. They're fed 10% of their diet, most of the time, is vitamins and stuff that's not coming from this country or whatever. It's also imported, or it's it's extracted from other sources. So even for those animals, you still get this process of human exploitation. You still get a lot of that. Whereas at least in this scenario, you would stop the exploitation of non-human animals, of leaving them alone and just choosing otherwise. Like it would obviously be the better choice. Wouldn't you agree that it's morally preferable to choose a plant-based option versus an animal-based option?
Sorry, I'm
It's
I'm
okay.
pulling over. I'm sorry, it's boring for you guys.
No, I
yeah.
don't think it's
Yeah.
okay. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. I mean, I understand your point of view, right? What your
Yeah.
point of view? It's a bit an appeal to futility, right? Because it's in a sense where we're saying no matter what choice we make, we're gonna be doing something bad.
Yeah, that's I say, like, from my point of view, it's you're screwed if you do, screwed if you don't.
Yeah, but it's not really that. That's the reality of it. The reality of it, and even if you think it's that, let's say even if you think it's that, it's still better to would you say that solving these issues, wouldn't it be better to stop with one? Like, again, there's human exploitation and animal exploitation in one, and in the others there's just human exploitation. Wouldn't it be better to at least, if you go towards a scenario where you're like trying to be better, wouldn't it be better to cut the animal exploitation? Like, imagine this: if we were to better the world, removing animal exploitation is something that we have to do regardless, right? So these systems have to improve. Maybe the systems for production of plants and plant-based products need to improve. I don't disagree there. I agree with you there that they have to be improved, but they have to be. That doesn't disregard what happens to animal products, right? That doesn't mean that we don't need to improve those. You see what I mean? Like, there's an obvious path that if we go on with animal products, we'll never be improving. We'll always be in that situation. Those cannot be improved. An animal will always be exploited when we create an animal product. There's no way of improving that. It just needs to stop. Whereas plant-based products, the system can be improved. And you can choose also there if you want, if you care about different choices. But, I mean, there's no denying that one is better than the other for animals, for us, for the planet, for everything. It's just monumentally better.
Yeah, I can see your point there. I'd say there was no way you were gonna bring me fully over into
Yeah.
being a vegan today, just over one conversation.
It's
But
okay, we're having a
you know,
conversation.
it's like 4 now. Oh my.
Can
oh
I
no, it's 3. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, but I do have to like get going really
It's okay,
soon. So you know, I am much more sympathetic.
Can I give you a
to
card
now.
to look into it?
Sure. Yeah.
If you promise me to look into it, because otherwise I don't want to waste the card. You know, I'm like.
Here, just so you're safe, I'll just take a picture and keep it on my phone, and then I'll.
I appreciate
get
that.
back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Just take the card. What are you doing, man? Just take it. You
Resources,
have
3 movies.
Yeah. So if you go on this website and type in this code or scan this code, you have a thing there called the most important speech you'll ever hear. You're gonna enjoy that. Give that a watch. You're really gonna enjoy it. It's a really good speech.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how we discussed. And my social media, you have it there. It's called Vegan Power Lab.
Vegan Power Lab. Okay. And so we're live on, what is this exactly? I'm
YouTube.
just curious. YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like upload the snippets after, or do you just?
I don't know. I don't usually because I have so much content that I don't. But
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, it was nice chatting with you.
nice chatting with you. And
You know, good conversation. I'm gonna think about it.
try
a bit more.
try to
Like,
see it
yeah.
a little bit from this perspective, because if you were in their shoes, what would you want yourself to do, right? Like all this system that you said, all this system that there's also this other point where all the system that you mentioned that are broken, I agree with you, they're broken, but we created the systems, we can fix it. Animals have nothing to do with this. Why would we put the systems that we broke onto them and say, you know what, we gotta exploit them because we've made the fucked up system?
Yeah.
We can't justify doing that, right? We gotta fix our own system. We'll leave them alone.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure chatting with you. Nice to meet you.
I'm Chip.
Marwan.
Marwan, nice to meet you, Marwan.
Nice to meet you. Have a good one.
one. You guys wanna? Yeah. I'm just looking. See. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Yes. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Sometimes the mic breaks, so I'm like, are you guys okay being live on YouTube?
Yes, I'm okay.
It's YouTube.
I have a YouTube channel.
Okay. Nice.
I could.
Yeah. Let's have this conversation first, and then you tell me. Okay. Would
Yeah.
you want to join this conversation?
So what's our?
Yeah. Join in.
What's our
yeah.
topic
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
today?
Yeah. I'll just turn it. Come here if you're okay with. So I'll just turn this. Wait for a second. Hey, thank you so much, Sam, for the donation. I appreciate you. Okay. Okay. So there's this sign says animal abuse should be illegal.
Should be legal or illegal?
Legal.
Legal, like allowed.
Do you agree?
No.
You?
No.
Is there a reason you would want that?
Well, I'm gonna ask you, why do you think it should be illegal?
Should it?
Well, I think it should be legal. If you get benefit from it, why not? Why shouldn't? Why do you think it should not be legal?
Because the animal has feelings too.
Okay. What about you?
I agree with you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How would you define abuse?
I would define it as harming someone, physically, verbally, just hurting them,
Yeah,
making
so-
them feel pain.
Yeah. So physical or emotional, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So not abusing cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Yes, I think they should be treated with. They should be treated with care too. They shouldn't be hit or abused. I've seen documentaries like pigs in slaughterhouses. There was a case
Yeah.
with like a factory farm. There was a guy who took a crane and he was lifting up the pig and just playing around. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, what's going through his mind, but some of these people are really sick.
Do you
They find happiness in doing that.
Do you think that behind the animal products, regardless of the animal product, there is some inherent animal abuse?
Yes, there is some.
Yeah. So do you think you can be against it while simultaneously supporting it by buying animal products?
I think you can't be completely against it if you're buying it.
Yeah.
If you're vegetarian, then you're not really part of the problem.
I'm pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Yeah, I am. I am pescatarian, and I do care, about animals. So that's why, I've been pescatarian for about 4 years
Well,
now.
what about the fish then?
Fish, they actually grow large in numbers. So they grow.
So do humans.
They double in seconds. It's fish. They actually grow large numbers. We'll never run
They
out
still
of
have
fish.
emotions. The same reason why it's wrong to exploit a cat or a dog should be same for a fish, right?
Yeah.
Does it matter that there are a lot of them? It's just
So
there's a lot of humans in this world. Imagine somebody killing humans and saying there's a lot of
uh,
humans.
Have you ever seen Seaspiracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the fish farms, it's very unethical. They carry diseases. It's not very hygienic, and then they sell that to people.
Yeah, and let me ask you, because both of you said that you probably consume dairy products. Do you consume dairy products?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do
so
consume dairy
the
products.
reason why I became vegan was knowing about dairy products. Do you know what dairy cows go through for what has to happen for dairy cows to produce milk?
But that's just pee, right?
Say that again?
But that's just pee. It's like the pee of the cow, right?
No, it's they're mammals.
No.
They have to be pregnant.
Yeah. They have to get. They give them these hormones, right? This unnatural.
Well, maybe to some, but in all farms, let's say a small farm where they
Yes,
don't give them hormones, what
farm.
happens is they forcefully impregnate
They
them.
force them.
Yeah, so somebody literally puts their hands in their anus to hold their cervix and injectable semen in their
Oh, yeah.
vagina.
I've seen
This
this,
is-
yeah.
This
I've
is
seen
pretty
that
standard
video.
practice,
Yeah, I know,
across
I've
the
seen
board. It happens in small farms, large farms.
Oh, okay.
And after the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
When the babies are born. No, I don't know.
Yeah, so the first thing that happens is they get separated from their mothers because they would drink their milk, and we say, well, it's our milk. We got to take it and sell it. So that's I think distressful already, and it's kind of fucked up to separate them from their mothers.
Yes.
And if the baby is born male, they don't produce milk. So what happens to
Oh.
them?
They're gone, it's slaughtered. Just like baby chickens. If it's a male, it's gone, shredded.
Yeah, like for eggs, right? Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. And if they're female, year-over-year forceful impregnation for 6 to 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
When the farmer can no longer justify keeping them alive financially because they either don't produce enough or they don't get pregnant with ease, and then they all go to a slaughterhouse. And cows can live up to 20, 25 years, so they don't live
Yeah.
even half their life, and it's a miserable life where they get exploited and slaughtered,
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so when I say, do you think this is abusive?
It is abusive. It's hard to change. It's been like that for who knows how long, since
Yeah.
like the beginning, like the ancient times of agriculture and farming animals.
It's hard to change the system, but what we
Yeah.
can do is change ourselves and not participate in the system, right?
Yes.
I see. Okay, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We also have things like soy milk. So I feel like people can just like use them instead
Exactly.
of sort of milk them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Soy
kinda
milk,
agree with you
almond
guys,
milk,
yeah. I kinda
And,
agree
and
with you
cheese,
guys.
we have some plant-based versions of cheese, but we don't need cheese. It's
Oh,
not like
yeah.
it's not like we say, oh, if we don't eat cheese, we're gonna die, or we're not we're not gonna be
Don't.
healthy if we don't eat cheese.
And
right?
something about milk is you don't really need it once you're grown up. It's for like a
Just for
baby,
kids,
you
right?
know? Yeah, just for
Exactly.
kids.
Exactly.
You're naturally, like as a human, you're supposed to be lactose intolerant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's milk is not good for you.
Yeah.
It's actually unhealthy to eat it or drink it when you're older. So the alternatives are just always better.
100%. Yeah, because I think there's a gene within us that normally turns off after we
yeah,
wean
yeah.
off of our parents. But genetically, because we've been doing this for so long, at some point that gene never turned off. So we can digest at least some people, not
Yeah, some
everybody in this
people.
world can
Yeah.
digest dairy. So that's what's happening. But like even if I don't know, even if dairy was okay for us, I still think like, should we still do this to animals just because we can?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
If we're gonna like continue this, we need new practices that are safer.
Do you think there's any way of using an animal against their will where it's okay?
No.
Right,
I
'cause-
think maybe like there's a new method where they're trying to create the meat using the DNA only.
Yeah.
So that's much smarter. Doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, but until that becomes
Until that becomes a thing.
do you think that we have the obligation to stop?
We need to
saying-
minimize the we need to minimize the
yeah,
harm.
yeah,
do
maybe
less of
like
it.
maybe like just lower. You know what I mean? Maybe like the number down
Yeah.
instead of like producing like high number
Yeah.
of like milk, just to lower number down.
Yeah, and I understand that as a
I guess.
society, that's kind of how we see it. But as as individuals, do you think we have some responsibility in this matter?
Well, some people are just, like ignorant too, like some people just don't care. And then some people, they also like thinking like, so I am pescatarian, right? So
Yeah.
like some other people think like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like a muscular thing for like a man to not eat meat. So
Yeah.
so like some men are just like thinking that way. So I don't know, like it's very hard to like change people's perspective, like it's about learning and like a tons of like educating like people. So like having a talk like this, it's
Yeah.
really good to like change people. So yeah, like I feel like like from now on I won't be drinking milk then,
Oh,
like
that's
I really don't
nice. That's
care
at least good,
because
yeah.
because like I always drink like soy milk at
Yeah.
home, so like milk, it won't really harm me in any way.
Cheese also, not forget yogurt, all
Yeah,
this
you
stuff,
know?
right? Yeah.
I'm good at it.
Yeah.
The one thing I
I'm
gotta
with it.
quit still is ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah, ice cream.
Or
is also-
just the
But isn't vegan
alternative.
ice cream? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's pretty good.
I never
there's
tried
vegan ice
it.
cream, but the problem
Pretty
with
good, yeah.
but the problem is like vegan lifestyle is very pricey. I won't lie to you. The
Depends.
vegan lifestyle is very pricey. Like
So-
like I went to their store one time. I was trying to make dinner. So like things like cheese, like their stuff is not like regular prices comparing to like.
Yeah, so the reason why
vegan lifestyle is very pricey.
So vegan
honestly.
lifestyle is not pricey. There's been like studies showing that plant-based diet is actually cheaper
Yeah.
for people in Canada, North America, Western Europe, and the countries in Australia, because a lot of the times when we think about vegan food, we think plant-based meats or plant-based cheeses, and a lot of the times yes, they are more expensive because animal products are subsidized by the government. These are not.
Yeah.
So there's not a level playing field from the start, but. The reason why it's cheaper is because you don't have to eat those. You can eat those once a week, twice a week, whatever works within your budget.
Yeah.
But most of the times you'll probably be eating lentils, beans, chickpeas, pasta, rice, tofu, it's a cheap
Oh,
option
tofu.
everywhere.
It's very nice. Tofu,
Yeah, yeah. So like, there are cheap options that you can, like, honestly, I have a job that I work 3 days per week, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have earn a lot of money.
Yeah.
So because I work 2 days per week.
Yeah, it's
So
okay.
I don't I survive within my means, you know, and
Oh,
you
me
always
too.
find ways. You always find ways to make it work.
Me
But-
too.
But
yeah.
I would never say that, you know, because for my convenience or for my own choices, I wouldn't ask that somebody else gets exploited or slaughtered because of my own choice to work less or whatever, right? I would say, hey, if I can't afford to be vegan, although again it's cheaper, but if it were the case that it were more expensive, I wouldn't say, you know what, I'm still gonna work 3 days per week and choose to not be vegan. I would say I still think I have a moral obligation to not exploit anybody else.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you guys feel the same way? How do you feel about
Yes, I agree with you.
it? Yeah.
You're completely right.
Oh, I
yeah.
appreciate what you're saying. Yeah, that's
Yeah. It's also hard to change other people's thoughts.
it is.
It
It is.
takes
Yeah.
time, yeah,
You know who's a good example? The Popeye. He eats
Popeye?
spinach.
Yeah, there
He
you
gets
go.
strong. He
He's-
doesn't
and
need
he's-
meat. He
yeah,
just
yeah.
needs spinach, and
Yeah.
he's good to go.
Yeah, he's a very good example indeed. Yeah, I mean, you know,
What
like
about meat? What's your idea about meat? You know?
about meat.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people should also stop consuming meat, you know? Like, there's,
You think they should be consuming meat?
they should stop consuming
Ah,
red
yeah,
meat,
yeah.
you know? Like, especially red meat, especially like things like beef or whatever it is, like, it's not good.
Yeah.
You know, like, studies have been done, you know, like,
Yeah, it's type B cancerogenic.
Yeah.
Like red meat is type B cancerogenic.
red meat is not good. So,
it's not
like,
good for you.
the reason I just eat fish is because fish is very healthy for you, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's
white
true.
meat is different comparing to red meat.
Yeah.
It's true, but
totally
like,
different.
but we gotta understand, because when we talk about meat and stuff like when products like this, it's so easy to detach the individual from where that meat comes from, because meat is the muscle of an individual who once lived, who once was exploited for us and was
Okay.
killed, right? So. Yeah, maybe even if it's healthier to eat red meat or healthier, I still would agree that, again, it's not it shouldn't be us to say, you know what, for me to be healthy, I need to kill somebody else. What gives us the right to do that, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we have choices again.
Yeah,
like,
you're not in the, you're not just like stuck on an island
Exactly.
with the animals forced to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's about survival, then yes, but you don't.
got it. Yeah.
You'll still be alive if you don't eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and also, you know, like pigs. People should not be eating pigs, man. Guys, don't eat pigs. Man.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not good at all. You know, like pigs is very nasty, man. Can they
Very
see me?
unhealthy.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
like,
I think they
right?
can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, man, pigs is very gross. Don't eat pigs. You know, like.
But again, not
it's
for that
very
reason.
gross. It's not good for human being. You know what I mean? Like their
Yeah.
meat, it doesn't. You know, like there was a video I was watching on YouTube. You know, like they even used to put like paraffin. You know what I mean? Like you see like worms coming out of that meat. Like that meat, it
Oh
can't
my.
be clean at all.
Either way, I think like that's one point of it, right? And obviously, I agree with you. I'm studying to be a certified nutritionist, and there's plenty of evidence showing that on a plant-based diet we can thrive. And if you match it from all the macro and micronutrients with a normal diet, you actually get better outcomes. You get more people live longer, people live better, and it's. I believe that, but I'm not here about that because, you know, I feel like healthy choices, people can make healthy choices. You can justify being healthy and saying one time, you know what, I'm gonna cheat one time. But when we think about the animals that suffered on this other side, that were exploited on this other side, that one time, one choice means one animal gets to lose their life, gets to be exploited. So that's what I'm trying to do is try to not. Is I want to abolish this. I want no more animals to be exploited at the end of the day. I want people to say, you know what, I don't want to be part of this system. I don't want animals to be exploited for me. I just want to live my life and live it the best way I can, you know. And I can choose to be healthy. I can choose to be not healthy. Whatever. That's up to you. I'm not here to dictate how you live your life. I'm just trying to say that when you live your life, maybe let's not create a trail of victims behind us.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's about, like education, right? It takes time to, like change people's idea to even like teach them like new lifestyle or like, I don't know, like it really takes time, it's gonna take a lot of time, like reaching out like this message, like passing the information to people.
And it's true that
I don't know.
we talk a lot about people, and it's hard to change their mind, and I agree with you because I've been talking to enough people today. But
Yeah.
like a lot of the times when we do this, we kind of absolve our responsibility in this matter, right? And we have some responsibility, right? We ourselves make choices ourselves, right? So we cannot hope of others to make changes when we ourselves don't make the changes, right? When we ourselves don't take responsibility for the choices that we make, right? Like whether that's eating dairy, whether that's eating meat,
Yeah.
whether that it's eating fish or whatever it is, right? We make these choices also. So obviously it's hard to change somebody else's mind, but we ourselves can change our own mind.
Okay, I mean it's kind of debatable, but
It's debatable that we can change our own mind. What do you think?
I think we can change our own mind. It just takes a strong will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need like a good influence, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I haven't seen much of like any like fully like farms that are just crops. Like maybe we need more of those. We need to promote it more.
Yeah, we need more, obviously, but like, you know, we live in a supply and demand society.
supply and
so,
demand.
So we are the beginning of this, right? So if we want more of those, we need to demand more of those by
Yeah,
by
if-
demanding more animal products. If we demand more animal-based products, more animals get exploited. I mean, it's obviously the system is, there's some complexity added to it, but
Yeah, it's complex.
if we simplify it, this is kind of how we get to it, right? Like at the end of the day, we are the ones who choose how the system is made by making choices every day. Every day we do 3 times per day. We are faced with a choice between one that exploits an animal and one that doesn't.
Yes. Only argument I can make is that the meat that doesn't get bought is wasted.
It is,
That's
but
it. That's,
it is, but you know, for that meat, that animal died, let's say, but then the next animal, the supermarkets will buy less. So the you see what I mean? It's
Yes,
kind of
they'll
like,
buy less.
okay, so we throw away 3 kilograms of meat, then we order 3 kilograms less next time. So then that maybe that at some point it translates to less animals being exploited.
Yes.
How do you feel?
the same way. I just forgot. You know, like I had a question for you, but I just
Yeah.
forgot. Just give me a second. I had
Yeah,
a
that's
question
okay.
about meat and like animals.
Yeah.
I just forgot. Like I just lost that thought of train right now.
Yeah, that's okay. Maybe it comes to you, right? I'll just ask you this one question. How many more animals do you want to be exploited or slaughtered for you before you make a change?
How many more animals? Do you have an answer?
Well, first of all, I don't eat animals, so I'm good.
I mean,
on
fish
that
are
question.
animals.
Come on, man. Like fish are healthy, man. Like I'd rather eat fish than animals.
But you're using the same justifications who people eat animals use, you know? Red meat is healthy, white meat is healthy. I need it, I want it, I like it.
Yeah, it's not that a lot of people want it. It's conditioning.
Yeah.
They're just so used to it, to the cycle, and we need some kind of change.
So you are vegan?
Yeah.
Vegan?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very costly. Like, it's so pricey. You know that California has a lot of vegans, but yeah, like things there are not, you know what I mean? Like I told you, I went to that store. It was a vegan store. I just can't remember the name, but there are things that are not. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I bought like certain stuff there, but I'm telling you, like vegan lifestyle.
But what do you think being vegan means?
Being vegan means like you care much about animals, like you can't even wear leather, you can't even do anything.
Yeah.
I feel like that's being too extreme now, you know, like things like leather, you know, like animals die too, right? So like, you know, like you can't make leather when that animal has died. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of debatable, but I don't know, like being a vegan,
So what's more extreme? Leaving animals alone or taking their life to wear their skin or eat their flesh?
what's being too extreme?
What's more extreme? Which one is it? To leave animals alone,
Yes.
respect them, or to cut their throat, wear their skin, and eat their insides?
The last one sounds more harsh, right?
Yeah,
But that's
it's
that's
harsh, but
it sounds
that's
harsh,
the
but that's the reality.
reality.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds the language that the animal agriculture uses is leather, this, that, because they want you to not think that it's somebody's skin. Leather is somebody's skin.
Yeah.
What if that skin can only be used when the animal has died? Like, what about that?
But the animal never dies. The animals are killed.
Okay, like animals can't just have like a natural death. You mean to tell me that?
Not in animal agriculture, no.
Something I think they should do is not keep the animal confined to such a small space. That's the number one issue that I see, because like even before their death, they're left in those really small spaces for so long, their whole lives, until they're just waiting to die.
Yeah, but like, and that's obviously bad, right? But like, do you think that if we keep them a bigger cage, if we give them a big cage, does
I
that
think
make it right?
Yeah, it's what I was gonna talk about and bring up was hunting, and how like when you're hunting, the animals are in their natural habitat. Is that any different? Is it less?
It's obviously there's a difference there, right? Because
Yeah.
as you said, there's no using that animal for whatever. Although
You're using
you're
them,
still
yeah.
using your power, you're still using them. So maybe it's not that different. It kind of feels different because, as you said, one is kept in a cage and one isn't, and then you're
Yes.
just killing them. But you're still making this choice. You're
Yeah.
still playing with somebody's life, with somebody's body, when you can choose not to. You can still choose to leave them
Yes.
alone. Right?
Even the First Nations, though, they would hunt the animals, but they wouldn't waste any part of the animal. They would respect them and use every part they could.
Yeah, but at some point, I think they could justify it because they probably didn't have the agriculture or the production that we have these days, right? But
Yes.
these days we have so much production, so many options. Like what bananas? There were no bananas everywhere in this world.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have bananas in the supermarket. You get into a supermarket, you find so many fruits that people back then they had to go around for miles to walk
Yes.
to find fruits, right? So now we have so many options that we just literally our only thing is to just choose this thing except for this thing. It's a 10 meters difference
Right.
in the supermarket for us.
With like cats and dogs, we keep them as pets, but you know we neuter them. We don't let them reproduce.
Yeah.
So their numbers stay in control, in balance. But then with the wild animals, their populations increase sometimes, and it's a problem. So
It's a
what can
problem
we
to
do
us,
to
right?
deal with? Yes, but to everything, to the ecosystem, when there's too much of an animal, like too many coyotes or
Too many humans.
too many humans.
What do we do if there's too many humans?
Exactly, we don't know what to do.
Yeah, but we
with-
can't control that,
yes.
right? That's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, we're gonna displace ecosystems. We do that. We displace ecosystems. We as
Yes.
humans go into a natural environment and we say, you know what, fuck off, you go there, and we'll stay here. It's our place now. So obviously, when we do that, ecosystems are gonna be displaced. But what gives us the right then to fuck up other species and say, you know what, we multiplied, we overrule the world, we have problems because we're so many of us, but you know what, you're not allowed to be so many of you. You have to die because you're a different species and because we have power over you, right?
Yes.
It's I just think like, I mean, obviously you don't necessarily have to be at this point of view.
Like when they become a threat, then I think we should do something about it.
If if it's in self-defense or if there's
Yeah,
a reason.
self-defense.
Self-defense is, you can justify defending yourself, right?
Yeah.
But again, like in these situations where we're at day to day, it's not self-defense. It's just choices. It's choices we make, right? Whether it's fish, by the way, or whether it's, I don't know, dairy, whatever.
What
it is.
about bugs?
Yeah.
If we have too many locusts eating crops and destroying all this food, right?
That needs to be improved. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be improved.
Yeah, we can't allow like
Or we
obviously.
have too many birds.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously like I feel like for crop production we obviously kill some animals and but I think like it's a form of self-defense because we're defending our food, right, when we do that.
Yes.
It's not like we're going, you know what, I'm gonna just kill animals and do whatever because I want to. Farmers who kill those animals, they don't want to kill animals, they just want to protect their crops, right? Like
Yes.
sometimes they use scarecrows, they use all sorts of tactics, and nowadays I think that's why I'm for GMOs, because
Right.
we can have GMO crops where there's no bugs that will reach the food for some reason. They either grow higher or they distract bugs with certain smells or
Right.
whatever it is. Like we can make methods. We can have vertical farming, veganic farming. There's a lot of ways to fix it. Animal agriculture will always exploit and slaughter an animal, right? There's no way to fix that. And while I
Yes.
agree that there's issues in agriculture in general,
Yeah.
I still think, we can't just say, well, there's issues anyway, so we blind ourselves and choose the worst part
Oh
of
no,
it.
there's always something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, there's different decisions you can make. Sometimes it's not the best decision. Sometimes it's a good, it's the right step in the direction you want to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So which one do you think is the right decision? Do you think the right decision is to exploit an animal or not?
We shouldn't exploit the animals, but I think sometimes when their population is out of control, we have to.
You got 4 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta go soon.
You gotta go. Okay. Can I give you guys some cards?
Yeah,
to look into
yeah.
it? You-
What is the card about? Is it your contacts or something?
You also have my contact there. Yeah. So this is my social media. I have my social media vegan power
What
lab
was your
there.
name?
Chip.
Chip.
What's your
Nice to
name?
meet you. Robin.
Robin.
Or Yannick the YouTuber.
Yannick the YouTuber.
Yannick the YouTuber.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll look it up. Yannick the YouTuber. Okay. I'm Chip.
It's a nice
Chip.
card. I
Yeah,
like the
thank you.
card.
So I'll just tell you real quick one thing,
Yeah.
two things you have there that are really cool.
Yeah.
One on the site. So if you scan this QR code or go on this website and type in this code,
Yeah.
you have a thing there called the most important speech you'll ever hear. It's a really nice speech to watch. I highly encourage you to watch that.
Where is it? It's on the
Yeah,
QR code?
yeah. And the QR code, or if you go on this website, the first website that's in bold.
I
Yeah.
can just play maybe right now, like on my way to home.
Oh, I'm doing a social experiment, people.
Yes.
Let me just scan it right now, okay?
Yeah. Give me a second.
Yeah, thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, let me show you which one it is. And then you have Challenge 22. They hook you up with a
yeah.
nutritionist, send you vegan recipes every day. They help you be within your budget.
Vegan?
Yeah,
Oh,
all of it
it's a
vegan.
vegan lifestyle?
Yeah,
Okay, wow,
this
okay.
this one. It's really good
Who
speech.
is this? Is this Gary V?
Yeah,
Gary Yus?
Gary Yourofsky. He's a speech holder at a university in US. It's a really good speech to watch. Just give that a watch. You'll enjoy
Okay.
it. You okay?
Yes.
And if you decide that you want to be part
Yeah,
of it,
thank you.
you have all the things there that you
Thank
need.
you so
Okay.
much. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
What's
you so
your name
much.
again?
I'm Chip.
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 Chip. What kind of name is that? That's a cool name.
I'm from Romania originally.
You're
so-
from Romania?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a friend of mine. Her name is Luisa. She was born in Romania too.
Okay, gotta
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry to cut it short.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
no worries, no worries.
I can maybe like give you like 5 minutes of my
Yeah,
time.
go
you
for
know?
it. Yeah, tell me.
So yeah, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about
So tell me,
Romania or what?
you said pescatarian.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is it about fish that you think they don't deserve to live?
Oh man, come on man. Fish are cool, man. Come on. Like fish actually grow in like large numbers, number one, right?
Yeah.
Man, come on, like
They grow in large number of
and then
so
number
do
two
humans.
is
Yeah.
fish is white meat, it's not red meat. So
Fish are. Their meat is white.
yes, so it's
When
really
we say fish is white meat, we kind of devalue them, right, as individuals. Because the reality is behind every fish that we kill
Yeah.
is an individual who didn't want to die.
wow. I see your point, right? Like you're a vegan, right? Like that's
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome, man. But man, I'm kind of not okay with you guys. I feel like you guys are too extreme. with
What
this
is
shit.
extreme about leaving animals
Come
alone?
on, man. Like, I feel like animals are here to also serve us. Number one, are you a religious person?
No.
You see, like, it's kind of, it's kind of going in with
So
it.
if my religion said that black people are here to serve us, would that justify me doing whatever I want to black people?
Oh, wow. Which religion says that? I doubt none. Okay.
No,
let's
but
get back to
if
the-
I had a religion that did say that, right? Does it
then
matter?
that's a bad religion. That's a religion which is
Well,
dividing people.
yeah,
then.
but that's you're applying
Do you
your
have a religion which
I
is
don't think
dividing
any
people?
religion is good religion anyway. But
Oh,
like,
I
but
kind
that's
of agree with you. I kind of feel like religion is a business somehow. But
yeah. I mean, you can believe in God or whatever you want to believe in, but the minute that your belief infringes on somebody else's rights,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
gotta stop, right? So when you're saying that God put animals on this earth for us to use them,
Yeah.
I think that infringes on their rights. So we gotta stop. That's why I can't say that God put black people or put white people or put whatever people on this earth for
Yeah,
me
yeah.
to use them. It's not fair. Just because I believe that doesn't mean somebody else should suffer the consequences of my belief.
man,
And I have the power, right? Because in all these situations, we have the power over these animals. And if I have the power over other people, and I say that my religion, you know what? My religion says that I have the power, therefore I can do this to you. Yeah.
man, being a vegan is very challenging. Like
It sounds challenging, but in reality, it's not.
number one, you
It's
can't
just-
even wear like leather shoes. Like wow, I heard about that.
Why
and I
would
was
you
like,
want to wear leather shoes?
You can't even have a nice leather coat. Oh my
But you have
god.
vegan leather. What do you mean? There's vegan leather. Which
Oh,
is
vegan
really
leather,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
I think I've seen one before, but the leather it's kind of not like the leather. You know what I mean? Like as someone who knows much about fashion, I
Yeah,
can
but
tell you
imagine-
like
But you know what
it's
you're
not even
saying,
that
right?
good, you know.
But
Like,
you know what you're saying now? You're saying, oh, this vegan leather tastes a little bit off. Cut the throat of this cow. Come on, I need to wear their skin because this vegan leather tastes a little bit off. Sorry, it feels a little bit off.
okay,
That's what we're saying, right? Come on. That's the reality of it. It's just, I know we live in a world that doesn't see it this way, but that's the reality of it.
my question to you is,
Yeah.
why do you care so much about animals? Like so much, like it's now too much now. You
I
know,
care
like
about
are you losing
fairness,
yourself?
man. I care about fairness. I'm a fair person. I want to
Man.
be fair towards them. I want to be fair towards you. I wouldn't treat you this way. I wouldn't treat anybody on this earth this way because I don't need to. So why would I choose to do it? Because I want to be fair towards them. It's not fair for me to just willy-nilly go, hey, I have power. I was born, not even that I have power. I didn't gain this power. I was born with this power. You were born with less power than me.
Yeah.
Therefore, I do whatever I want to you. No, that's not respect. That's not fairness. You know, for me, fairness and respect means I leave you alone, you leave me alone. That's it. Full stop. I leave animals alone. If they leave me alone, I leave them alone. If they attack me, of course I'm going to defend myself. But that's something else.
Okay, question. How long have you been a vegan? How long?
3 years.
Is it forever or
No,
3 years?
Yeah, I was vegetarian for 7 before that and 3 vegan.
Okay, so what made you just switch up? You know, like I am currently pescatarian. I've been practicing
Yeah.
for almost 4 to close 5 years, right?
What I told you about the dairy industry, what made me change. I was vegetarian before that, and I
So
said,
like did it, so like the like that milk story like just made you switch up?
yeah, because I thought, you know, I used to say that I live in the Netherlands, in
Yeah.
Amsterdam, and I used to think there's no way that's happening there. There's happy cows all over the fields. Oh, there's absolutely no way.
Yeah, yeah.
And I looked it up, I Googled it, and I found that it's
That's what they are doing.
same everywhere. It's the same everywhere. It's just more whitewashing in other places than others. Like, obviously, everybody in the U.S. is gonna say that probably happens to all animals.
Yeah, yeah.
But in there, because factory farming isn't as widely spread as it is here, they think that because it's a nice farm, a small farm, that this
Yeah.
doesn't happen to animals. But all of it happens to animals, all of it. So then it's just like, how can I distinctly remember because I was a bit high when I did this.
I had another question for you, but
Yeah.
should I like just ask you before
Yeah,
you know
ask
like I
me,
lose it?
ask me.
What do you feel about, you know what I mean, about like the halal meats, you know what I mean, like the all halal stuff? Like,
Yeah.
is it like good or what?
No, I don't.
Listen, like I am a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I'm always learning, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm never gonna take everything there. You know, like I'm always chipping up. You know, like I'm always
Yeah.
I'm always leveling up in every.
I think
you know
it's
what
just.
I mean?
I
So
think,
like, what do you feel about this halal meat? Like,
So
is
I
it
think-
good for people still?
So I think
Because like
in-
halal meat is not kill. No, it's not like kill harshly.
I know. It's killing.
killed in like a
It's still
different
harsh.
Muslim way.
It's still
like,
harsh.
What's your
I
thought
know.
on that?
I know the halal way of killing, where you rotate the animal to 180 degrees. You
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
them tight, and you say Bislam.
Yeah,
and then
you say
cut
like
their
a short prayer,
yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah,
It's
and
like a
then
short prayer.
And then you cut their throat. But,
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, you know, I would say halal way of killing is worse because actually in UK it's banned because because they still
my
feel a
sister
lot of
living
pain.
there.
Yeah, so a lot of the times they just use a bolt gun where they
A gun?
a bolt gun where it's like
What?
electrocution to the brain so that they
In
at
the
least-
UK?
Yeah, where everywhere around the world that's the standard practice,
Ooh.
and then they cut their throat, right?
Oh
But if
my
you cut their throat
God.
directly, they feel way more pain. So so the bolt gun is supposed to make them unconscious.
That sounds so painful.
But
Oh.
but regardless of this, right? Like for me, the way I see it, halal was made in a period
Yeah, yeah.
where animals were maybe we didn't have other options, or maybe we tried to you know the prophet tried to say, you know what, don't blame yourself so much. You don't have an option. You can choose this. It's okay. You know, and then he said, you know what, but
Sorry, it's just a
he
fly.
went right. I
It's
saw
just a fly.
it
It's just a fly.
directly went in your mouth.
It
I'm
went
sorry.
directly.
Yeah.
I should close my mouth.
Yeah, so I saw like I think during those times it was in a sense justified because we didn't have options. But nowadays halal would be to not ever take the life of an animal because that's a reality. I think also in the Quran it says do not harm an animal, do not throw a stick. I think there's an expression specifically that says do not even harm an animal even a little bit if you don't need to. And the reality is we don't need to at all these days. So
Yeah, we don't need to.
so I think that supersedes the other proposition where we say, well, we can do this to animals. No, I think it's
Wait. But in the same Quran book, God offered Ibrahim, is it a sheep or a goat? So like, God is kind of like showing us it's okay to eat meat, but I don't eat meat for different reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, like I am pescatarian because of health.
Yeah, but
I don't want to eat red meat.
First of all, I don't, sheep, cows, chickens, pigs are animals created by us. So God did not give us those animals. Those are animals that we selectively bred. Were wild animals at some point, and we selectively bred them to be how they are.
Yeah.
Hence why a lot of them are also suffering a lot these days, because we selectively bred milk cows to produce as much milk as they can, and therefore they have huge udders. It's really bad for them.
Yeah.
Hence why, like all of it, right? Like these animals are not animals that were given by God, right? So
Yeah.
these stories that are in the Quran,
Yeah, yeah.
they just seem to me more like, again, the same justification, saying that God gave us these animals. In a sense, God's saying that, hey, if you don't have a choice but to kill this animal, do it. It's okay. You have to survive.
What about during, like this holiday? It's called Eid. So like Eid,
Yeah.
it's about like
I know about Eid, yeah.
making whatever
You
the
have to make a
goats and the cow.
sacrifice.
Yeah,
But
like
you
what
don't-
about that?
So there's vegan Muslims, and when
Vegan Muslims, okay.
yeah, so when they make a sacrifice, they don't kill an animal. They just go and help out with some poor people. They give them something, or they have to make a sacrifice. They don't have to sacrifice somebody else. They don't have to sacrifice an animal.
Wait.
You
Is
can do that.
Is
Yeah.
that halal? Like, is it
Yeah.
like allowed?
Yeah,
as a
yeah, it's
Muslim?
allowed. It's allowed. Yeah. So I can, if you search on,
I should do like my.
yeah,
like
if you
my
search on
research too,
Facebook,
but I'm not sure.
there's on Facebook there's a vegan Muslim groups.
Mhm.
If you search them, maybe even in Toronto, if you search vegan Muslim group
Wow.
Toronto.
Let me look for them right
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
look
what?
look for them. You might.
On Instagram or which page?
I would say Facebook. I don't know if on Instagram. I don't know if you have
God
Facebook.
damn. Who uses Facebook?
Yeah,
in
who uses
2025?
Facebook? I agree
2024,
with
who
you.
uses Facebook?
I guess communities
using
use
Facebook in
Facebook. Yeah, I
2011.
agree. I agree.
That was, god damn, guys,
Yeah.
man, things are moving forward. Facebook, vegan Muslim group, right?
Yeah, vegan Muslim.
I hope they will bear us some few minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Toronto, right?
Yeah, you can search Toronto. Yeah. I'm not sure if there is one specifically for Toronto, but see Toronto vegans, Muslims, vegans of Toronto. But like if you search for vegan Muslim, you'll find some. And
Okay. Let me just check out Toronto, right?
yeah. I mean that I know for sure that there are groups.
Vegan
Yeah.
Muslims.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Like I don't know right now where like how it
Vegan
shows.
Muslims. Okay, let me just check them out. But this is insane because like like Muslims are well known for slaughtering goats. Like I've never heard of a vegan Muslim. This is
Yeah, the thing
different,
is,
different.
you can be vegan and a Muslim, and I would say it's even morally preferable to be that way. But to eat, I'm not religious. I don't. Everybody's to each their own religion. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to say. I just think at the end of the day, again, I bring it back to this. There's two options. One exploits and slaughters an innocent animal. One doesn't. Wouldn't you say that God prefers that you don't? Even if they say that you can't, wouldn't you say that God prefers that you don't?
Do you mind repeating that question, please?
Yeah, sure. So
Sorry.
there's, when you're faced with this choice, you have this option. One exploits and slaughters an animal, and one doesn't. Wouldn't you say that God prefers that you choose the option that doesn't exploit an animal? That doesn't make them suffer. That doesn't make them.
Okay. Pause there.
Yeah.
Okay. The same God told you that on Eid you can slaughter the goat.
Yeah.
So what about that choice?
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because that's the room for interpretation where we have a Quran, right?
It's about
Yeah, but I don't think.
Okay.
I again, like you see, I actually talked to before starting the social experiment live. I talked to a religious person who told me, he was Christian, not Muslim. He was telling me that the Bible is not instructions; it's descriptive. It tells you what happened. Maybe it's the same for Quran. You see what I mean? Like it's a room for interpretation. Maybe it doesn't give you instructions, but maybe rather it just tells you what happened, kind of what it is. But like even if you take it as room for interpretation, then you can acknowledge that you choose some parts of it and some parts of it you don't. So you can't say that. Like I feel like you can choose to justify doing some horrible things. That's my problem personally with religion. Is that a lot of the times, a lot of the things written there are just things to justify horrible shit that we do. That's why I'm not religious anymore, because I just don't like you can believe in God, all fair to you. That's beautiful if you do, but the things that religion pushes is just, for me at least, it feels a bit. disingenuous. It feels like
Yeah.
they tell you that it's you know, it's for your good, for you to get into heaven, whatever. But the reality is there's other things. behind it.
Man, religion, you know what I mean? Like I even told you earlier, I feel like it's a business somehow.
Exactly, it's a business.
It's a business somehow, but still, you know, like I believe that people came from somewhere, you know, like I believe that, you know, like we have someone watching us somewhere, you know, like I don't know who, but I feel like, you know, like we all belong to. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's too harsh, but you know, but it's the reality. Yes, I understand that, but man, we can't really run away from like not drinking milk or not, you know, like you know, like wearing leathers. You know, that's
We can.
it's different.
I can. Everybody can.
About
Nowadays you
milk,
can.
about
Don't lie
milk,
to
you know,
yourself.
like
All
it's a
of
bit
it.
debatable. I understand about milk. You know, like I don't really care about drinking milk, but you know, for leather, I
You
don't
can
know.
choose all of them.
Because
For
I feel
all
like
of them, you
I
can
feel
choose
like
otherwise. For
I
leather,
feel like an
really?
animal can just die and
Look at
we
you.
can
You
have
are you
leather
wearing
shoes.
leather?
I mean my boots are somehow
You
leather.
don't need leather shoes. Why do you need leather shoes? There's plenty of shoes nowadays
Man,
that
they
are
are beautiful.
Do
It's
you
long
think?
lasting.
But we have material that's longer lasting and beautiful. We don't need any of this shit, man. Come on. Wearing somebody's skin on your leg to say it's beautiful to wear somebody's skin on my.
But
on
it's
my
so pricey too, you know what I mean? Like it's also like pricey, like it's fashion too, you know, like you know, like I'm a.
Do you think it's okay to kill animals for fashion?
I mean, killing them. What if like they are, you know, maybe like getting slaughtered for like meat? We can't
they're
use like
not.
the other remaining for making shoes for ourselves.
But that's the thing. You're still supporting. They're not. They're both working together. You know, like if you stop one, maybe the other will also stop because they don't get enough money. They justify all that money that they get based on also people who buy leather shoes, based on people who do this. You know, it's a whole system. And again,
Yeah.
do you really want to sleep at night thinking that one animal died so that you can have a fashion sense? I mean, when you can choose otherwise easily, really, come on, man, for fashion.
I see your point, you know. I get it.
Their
but,
skin
yeah,
is
being vegan-
exotic. I'd rather wear their skin.
Hey, being vegan is oof.
not,
There was a
not.
time they had like a rally somewhere. It's like a protest around Toronto.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them, but you know, like vegans, man, you guys are too harsh, man. Let us wear leather shoes, guys. It's nice. It's comfy. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
let us kill animals and
Let's
wear
wear
their
leather shoes,
skin.
guys.
Yeah, let us take the life of innocent animals and wear their shoes. Why not? Let us kill dogs and wear their skin. Why not? Would you wear fur?
Oh, you mean like the leather furs?
Fur, yeah.
I don't know, like.
You know,
I think
where
I've
they
only
rip
had
the
maybe, like,
skin
one
off
leather
of
coat
live
or something.
animals. You know.
I see your point, man. But what about having like you know, like the what is it, sheepskin? You know, like they always make like clothes with those
All of them
with those
exploit and
fur,
slaughter
whatever.
animals.
Like they use it
All
for like
of
good
them.
stuff too.
All of them exploit and slaughter animals. All of them. If you are in their shoes, would you really want somebody to say, "No, you go ahead and exploit me. I really want to die. I really want to be dead today. I really want somebody to use my skin
Yeah,
and."
being vegan is, hey man.
Come on, it's just
wow.
about thinking from this other perspective. This is the normal.
Being vegan, I don't know, man.
You keep saying being vegan, but being vegan should be the normal. Being
It should
not
be the
being,
normal?
Yeah, not being vegan is extreme or weird. Think about it. Like in a world where nobody exploits animals, why would you all of a sudden start exploiting animals because you want us to wear their shoes, wear their skin? Sorry. How is that? How would that be seen as not extreme? That's the extreme position. The extreme position is where you know, take the life of individuals, where you, because you want to wear their skin.
Okay. I see your point. Like I'll just do like further research about like
Please
about
do.
like all this
Yeah.
lifestyle, whatever it is. But I don't know, man. Being vegan, it's number one pricey. Number two, I feel like you'll
not
be
more
missing
pricey, as
out
I
on
told you, it's
so
not.
many things, guys.
You're not missing out on anything.
Guys,
Are you missing out on not eating dog meat?
let me tell you something.
Are
Okay?
you missing out on not wearing the dog skin?
Let me tell you something. Okay.
Answer me this.
Most barbecues, I literally have to even call them like, hey, I don't eat meat, so kindly prepare me fish or like shrimps. Like I literally have to
All
tell
these
them.
are individuals.
'Cause,
You eat-
like most barbecues,
I don't eat the
it's just
meat.
beef and like sausage and
I'm
stuff.
sorry, I don't eat the meat of the animals that you don't respect. I eat the meat of other animals that I don't respect. That's what
So
you're
like you don't
saying.
even go out for like barbecues with your friends.
Of course,
or
but
no?
you can barbecue vegetables, vegan products. You don't need to barbecue somebody's flesh, man, or to take their life for it. Come on, I mean, I honestly, we're wasting time now because you keep trying to find justifications.
I'm learning here.
Yeah.
I'm learning here. Okay.
You're
I
just
get
trying
your
to find
point.
justifications of how to exploit more animals. Fuck, man, stop it. Just get some plants and plant-based products. It's a supermarket. I don't know where there's a supermarket. But I gotta end this conversation because I saw that somebody called me and I need to check that
Oh,
out.
you wanna
and-
check?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the talk. Yeah. Like I only had like 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
maybe next time we can talk more. Like, are you always here, like on the weekends? or
No,
what?
no. I mean, I don't live here. I'm from Amsterdam. I just came here for the weekend. So
Just for the weekend?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Welcome to Toronto, man. How
Yeah,
do you like
thanks.
it here?
Well, I've been here for 4 hours
For four
and
for
I've
4
been
hours
doing
only?
activism.
No way.
also.
What's your YouTube name? Are you popular?
Yeah, you have it. I mean, I'm not popular, but you have it on my card. It's called Vegan Power Lab.
Vegan Parlor.
Yeah, you have it here.
Like, let me see. Okay. Like, what do you do? Like you just talk about vegan lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, I try to get people to respect animals.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You've been to California before?
I have,
They
yeah.
have so many vegan stores, vegan restaurants.
They have a lot of
California is
plant-based
so
people.
beautiful, guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like if you're like a vegan, just move there, basically. You know?
Amsterdam is better.
Because you guys have so many vegans. Oh, where? Amsterdam too?
For
I've never
vegan
been there.
products, is better. Yeah.
Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never been to Amsterdam. No, I've only been to like transit
Yeah.
on my way to Germany. Vegan.
Yeah.
That's you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me subscribe.
Okay. Nice.
I'm just gonna be watching your stuff, but yeah, man,
Okay,
have
I
fun.
appreciate it, yeah.
Take care.
Take
Enjoy
care.
the city, man. It's so
Yeah,
beautiful
thanks.
out here. Okay,
Yeah,
take care.
I do like it. Yeah. Have a good one. Okay, everyone. Yeah, these conversations were a little bit long, and I saw you guys have made some donations. Thank you so much for that. I honestly am freezing. Like my feet are frozen, my hands are frozen. Let me see if I can. I can barely move my hand all the way. Oh no! Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, I'm like. Yes. Okay. Sound is fine. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna end it because we have an Airbnb here. We gotta go to it, and I haven't eaten anything for lunch, and I have a lot of stuff to do. Anyway, thank you for being here. I think we had some conversations. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Chris says piss off permanently. Chris, you're welcome to do that. Oh, hey, you wanna have? Oh, I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit. You want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
scared.
are you okay being live on YouTube?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Hi YouTube. My name's Ash.
Ash, nice to meet you, Ash. I'm Chip.
to meet you.
Can we go? Oh.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
Tell me about this. It says animal abuse should be legal.
Why? No, it shouldn't be legal.
Why not? Can you come a little bit closer so I
Yes.
can be? Yeah. Why not?
It shouldn't be legal because animals are so cute and nice, and why should we abuse them?
What if they're not cute?
But they are.
What if they're not?
What animals aren't cute?
I don't know. There's animals who, if you don't find them cute, if I don't find an animal cute, should I be able to abuse them?
No, you shouldn't be able to abuse anything because I'm not better than an animal. I don't want animals to abuse me, so I shouldn't abuse them.
Okay, I appreciate that. How would you define abuse?
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of abuse we're talking about. Like, you can abuse something physically or mentally, emotionally. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I would say physical or emotional harm. Is that a good?
Yeah, like inflicting pain.
Yeah. So cats, dogs, no abuse.
No-
Wrong.
no abuse.
What about
I don't
cows,
eat
chickens,
meat.
pigs?
No, I don't eat meat.
Do you consume
I
dairy
agree.
products?
I I do, but that's just because I have low iron. I have to.
Wait, iron is not in dairy
My
products.
doctor told me to, bruh.
Yeah, but doctors. So, wait, we're going very fast here. So doctors, they don't have any nutritional training. Yeah, I'm studying to be a certified nutritionist, and
I
I can
believe
tell you
you.
that you can. Let's put it this way. If you find a way to get your iron, like you can get supplements or stuff like that. Like you find
I
a
know
way.
my mom got mad at me.
If you find a way to get supplements, to get all the macro and micronutrients that you need, don't you think you have a moral obligation to not exploit or slaughter animals?
You're right. I tried to be vegan for a long time. I wish I could. I wish I had it in me. I'm just not strong enough. I respect you guys though.
What is keeping you from it?
Because I got in trouble for having low iron and not eating dairy products. But I don't eat.
But
I
maybe
don't
you
eat
didn't.
meat.
But that's the thing. Maybe you didn't, right? Because maybe you just didn't have a proper plant-based
I
diet,
didn't,
right?
I didn't.
Yeah. So that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be vegan. It just
No.
means that you should adjust your diet, right?
Are you vegan?
Yeah, I am.
Is that what
vegan,
you're
yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
trying to
trying to
convince
get people to be vegan. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree, man.
What does it mean to you to be vegan?
I guess it just means like holding other creatures up to the same level of respect that you hold animals. I mean, like humans up to, like.
Yeah, it's a moral stance being vegan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the diet that just accompanies it is just a consequence of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it means, if I say I respect humans, I can't go around cutting their throat
Yeah.
or forcefully impregnate them to get their milk.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
that
No, everything they do in slaughterhouses disgusts me. It's horrible. It's very
But
sad.
do you know about the dairy industry? What
Yeah,
happens
I
to
know,
cows?
I know,
You
I
know
know.
that they get forcefully impregnated.
It's disgusting
Yeah.
and really fucked. I know.
Yeah.
but Am I allowed to say that? Sorry.
So do you think you can choose otherwise
I'll
yourself?
try.
if
You
don't
know
wanna
what?
be
You
part of it?
opened my eyes. Maybe I'll try again.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
How many more animals should be exploited for you before you make a
Zero.
change?
You're right.
You
0
gotta
of
go
them.
vegan for that.
I'll try.
Okay, let me give you some resources.
Okay, I'm excited. I'll go vegan fully now.
So I think it sounds like what you need is Challenge 22.
Uh-huh.
They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day
Oh my god.
for free. It's all
Vegan
everything-
nutrition?
Yeah, all of
Oh
it
my
that you need.
gosh.
And one thing, if you go on this website and type in this code,
Yeah.
there's a thing there called I forgot what it's called, but there's a Discord server right next to Challenge 2. You also have it on their website. Right next to it, or you can scan this QR code, of course. You have vegan mentorship, it's called, and you have personalized help. Somebody can log in with you on the Discord server and help you with all your
Wow.
particular needs that you want. You just gotta want to stop exploiting animals at the end of the day. You know?
Amen, man.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll try it. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
I respect what you're doing here.
Hey, thank you.
Have a good day, man.
Hey, you too. Okay, everybody. We had one more conversation before we ended. Yeah. Yeah, you guys wanna do a social experiment?
What's the social experiment?
I just ask you some questions, get you to think.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down. Yo, what up, TikTok? I mean, Instagram. It's Instagram, right?
It's YouTube.
Oh, what up, YouTube?
Okay.
Subscribe.
What do you think about this? It says animal abuse should be legal.
Oh, no way.
No?
No.
Why not?
Because that's animal abuse. That's like saying human abuse should be legal.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense logically.
So animals deserve to not be abused.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. What would you say? How would you define abuse?
Abuse, basically any sort of effect to or negative effect to the cat or dogs or animals health in terms of whether it be physical, mental, emotional, it all comes under abuse.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah. So we shouldn't be abusing cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Yeah, the animal abuse, no matter the animal, it shouldn't exist.
Do you think that behind animal products there is some inherent animal abuse?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Do you consume any animal products?
I do. I do consume animal products.
And here's my next question. Do you
yeah.
think you can be against animal abuse while simultaneously supporting it by purchasing animal products?
You got me there. That's a good question. But honestly, you're right. It's disheartening when you see those videos that in the chicken farms and the cow farms, you feel disgusting eating chicken.
It is,
right?
yeah.
But it's become so mainstream now, and
Yeah,
then
we're
people have
disconnected from it, right?
it's so normal, which is so bad. But I mean, yeah.
But do you think that we have some moral responsibility
That
in
is
the
true.
matter?
We do. We do.
make the
100%,
choices,
100%,
right?
100%.
Can we really justify the choices that we make or the awful things that these animals go through for us
Yeah.
by saying everybody does it or it's so normal?
Yeah, no, that shouldn't be our excuse. And honestly, that's kind of ignorant on my part to say that I stand against animal abuse, but then at the same time, I'm eating beef patties and chicken patties.
Exactly.
But like I don't know. I have no answer for that because like you, it's true. It's the truth, right?
How many more animals should be exploited for you before you change?
0. In a perfect world, 0.
0. Yeah. I mean, you got to go vegan, man.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
So that's kind of the social experiment that I do with
Interesting.
people.
Yeah.
And
You
like,
got me 100%.
It's not. I don't. Like the thing is, I don't want to catch people up. I
Yeah.
don't want to get them. You know. I just want you to see this other perspective
Yeah.
where these animals, like obviously, if it were coming to cats and dogs, we would find it absurd. Like imagine,
Yeah.
would you do what we do to cows, chickens, or pigs to cats or dogs?
No, never.
No,
Yeah.
but
And that shouldn't be the case. It should go both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because are they that different? Like to them, it's
Yeah,
the same
that's
experience,
true,
right?
that's
The
true.
same life
That's so
experience.
true, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a good awakening. Like, see, like I didn't even think about it like that, but now
Yeah.
you put that in my head. And
It's kind of what I want to
Yeah.
do. It's kind of I want people to see more from this perspective, from this
Yeah,
perspective of
100%,
animals. Otherwise,
100%.
otherwise this will never end, right? Because this
I agree.
animal agriculture,
Yeah.
they sell us this story. They sell us this.
Yeah.
They sell us this disconnect. They try to
Yeah.
because they show us happy cows. They show us happy
Yeah.
chickens. But
But
as you
in
said, if you
reality,
see,
it's not.
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's
That's true.
So far
That's
from
true.
it.
Yeah. Like see these gentle reminders here and there, like seeing those on YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah.
And like you doing this right
Yeah.
now, like it reminds people that like that's not what's actually happening. Like it is animal abuse to be
It is.
consuming that. But yeah. Thank you for reminding me 100%.
Yeah. Can I give you some card to look into it?
Sure, yeah, 100%.
What's your name, by the way?
Mohammed.
Mohammed. Nice to meet you. I'm Chip. What's your name?
Mohit.
Mohammed.
Yo, come in the video, bro. Come
I'm
say
Chip. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. I only have one card left, so
That's fine, we could share.
Yeah. So, Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day. It's all
Nice.
free.
Oh, cool.
Just gotta want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
thank
have,
you, sir.
You have
Thank
personalized
you.
help also here if you scan this code. Just, I think if I were to recommend you one really nice thing is if you scan this QR code or go on this website and type in this code, there's a thing there called the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Okay.
It's a really good speech.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you're going to do going forward, it teaches you about all the practices and it's not doesn't show you gruesome content.
Okay.
And I think there's nothing wrong with knowing what you're paying
Yeah,
for, right?
100%,
I think knowledge is power. We need
Agreed.
to have knowledge. So
Agreed. Yeah.
maybe give that a watch.
I will.
And
You want me to take a picture so you don't have to?
No, take
lose
it,
another
take it,
card?
take
I
it. That's fine. That's why I make these
Okay.
cards, right? To
Okay,
give them
fair,
away to
fair.
people.
Okay.
So, and if you think that you don't want to be part of it, all the resources that want to be there.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank
Have
you.
A good one. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Okay, everybody. I said I'm gonna end, and we outreached 2 more people. I need to end this. Thank you so much for everybody who donated.
What's your YouTube channel called?
My YouTube channel, you have it on the card. It's called Vegan Power
okay.
Lab here.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hey, cheers. Thank you so much. I saw Leon that you said you made an organizer for the EV today. Wow, congratulations. That's really cool. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I am freezing my butt off. Thank you so much for everybody who donated. I hate that there were some conversations. I didn't like the conversation with that kid who said he's not gonna change in the end. I think like we had a lot of conversations where people just throw it back at me, right? Where they were like, "Well, you know what? You do the phone, you do the jacket, you do this thing," and I'm like, "What? What the hell? What is this a common thing in Toronto where people are so concerned about everything else that they're just gonna be?" Sending, you know what about this, what about that, whatever, and I felt like that I don't know. I mean, there were okay conversations. I don't think like I handled them too well, so please give me insights on how to do those conversations better, because clearly these are going to be conversations that are going to happen in some cities in this world, which is weird. Yeah, phones though, as Lewis says. And what about ism? Yeah, I feel like these conversations, they have so many answers and so many routes to go that I don't always know what the best one is. So please give me those answers after this stream and type them in the chat and say, hey, you do this now from next time, and I'll try to do better. I know there's people who give me insights all of the times, but I forget. Sometimes I read them and I'm like, yeah, you're right, I should have said that. But I really want to tackle these better and better, and I'll learn to do it better. We got to fight for the animals. Everybody, if you're here new to the channel, please subscribe, please like it. Thank you everybody for all the donations. Thank you for the moderators that were in the chat. I really appreciate you. I hope you got some good conversations. There were a lot of weird things happening. I'm now gonna go. I have to call because we gotta go to this Airbnb. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And you know, if you're, I'm gonna say it, if you're not vegan, please go vegan. Leave animals alone. If you are vegan, please speak up or do some form of activism, whatever there is. And yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. My face it's a little bit frozen and I'm tired and been coming from a flight and everything. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. And yeah, like it, subscribe, do all that beautiful thing. It just matters to me. Again, it matters nothing to the content. So bye everyone. I appreciate you for being here. And thank you so much for the donations. I'm sorry if I can't name the donations right now. I'm trying to see. This app doesn't have a way to see who the donations came from, but I really appreciate all the donations that you've given. Like they really help out. They really help out with everything. So bye everyone. Have a good one.